saying hi chat. Happy Tuesday in our chat. What's going on, everybody? I hope everyone's having a fantastic evening, afternoon, pre-noon, no matter where you are in the world. I'm Hasan Piker, and this is the HasanAbi broadcast coming to you live from sunny California, Los Angeles. Very windy, but still sunny California, Los Angeles, folks. We are live and alive, and I hope all the boys, I hope all the girls, and I hope all the MBs are having a fantastic one. It is, because it is April 12th,
11 months
2022.
Chat.
And you know what that fucking means. Hey, bro. That's fucking right. It's fucking right. It's Tuesday. It's Tuesday. It's Tuesday. It's Tuesday. It's Tuesday. Tuesday, bro. Tuesday, innit? It's fucking Tuesday. That's right. That's fucking right, bruv. It's Tuesday. It's... Oh, fuck. God damn it. This fucking camera thing is so shitty. Okay. It's fucking Tuesday, innit? Tuesday. Okay. That is, you know, it's footy time, lads. It's footy time, lads. I just love... Sorry. They should have never given you a stream deck. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it's dumb. It's dumb. I love playing with it. I think you got to color balance your camera, brother. Yeah, I know. Anyway, simple as. Simple as. It's Tuesday. Simple as.
I recovered from the Grimes cringe high chat.
Happy Tuesday from the 110th anniversary of the sinking of the Titanic. It's the day of cosmonautics in Russia, so please respect that throughout the stream and do not say anything mean about Russia. It's going to be really hard for me not to say anything mean about Russia, considering that...
Chat looking cute like always.
You know, they have strayed so far away from the nation that was able to, you know, send Yuri Gagarin to space. Anyway.
Happy Tuesday, chat. My girlfriend was a couple of subway stops from getting murdered today. I am happy she is okay.
So, it's Tuesday, innit, bruv? It's Tuesday. And this is a part of the broadcast where I tell you a little bit about my personal news, what's going on. This is for the parasocialists. I'm not going to be doing sunburn memes, megaphonics, okay? We're done. Have you seen the claims on civilian casualties in Mariupol? Yeah, 22,000. Yes, I have seen them. And I do believe that, like, I mean, there's probably a little bit of an overshotting on behalf of the Ukrainian authorities, but not by a lot. Anyway, listen, this is the part, but we're going to get to that in a little bit. This is the part of the broadcast where I tell you about my personal news, what's going on in my life, okay, me, really the important part of the broadcast, just kidding. Bill Maher on Joe Rogan, content alert. Oh no, my worlds, my two faves, dude, my two faves going at it. Oh no. So yeah, my worlds collide. I did see the TERF convention, and I'm not going to say anything, okay? I'm just going to let those pictures do more fucking PR, more agitprop than I ever could.
Hassle.
I have really, like, hurtful things to say, but I won't say them because, you know, I'm not a trans woman, so I'm just not gonna I'm not gonna say them. I'm thinking them. You can't stop me from thinking them. You will never stop me from thinking such thoughts. I'll just show you. I'll just show you and you'll probably understand what I mean. This person says this shit looks like a scurvy convention. That's a very nice way to put it. Like, I get what's motivating them to be so transphobic. You know what I mean? Like, that's all I'm saying. I get it now. Like, you should have just shown me this photo and I would have been like, oh, I get it now. I totally understand where they're coming from. Like, I literally, that's all I needed. Just this photo. Like, all I needed to know about why they're so fucking transphobic. Like, oh, this is it. You're just angry. You're angry at the world, you know?
Thanks for the news.
I don't know if it was a chicken or the egg situation with the way that they look, but man, shit's not looking great. You know, people are fucking melting. Okay. How is this clip of you, Grimes, and Nadia not as viral as the buff one, HasanAbi? Because, like, there was only the buff one that I saw that I retweeted. That's it.
I don't think it's...
Oh, this one was funny as fuck, yeah. This one.
Hassle.
That's how you age when you have hate in your heart? Yeah, I know. Anyway, we haven't blasted off yet, but this is the part of the broadcast where I tell you about my personal news, guys. And honestly, there is no personal news. I went out to dinner with Mythological, Cutie Cinderella, Maya, who else? Aiden / Eamon. I went out. Who else was there? Oh, Blastoise. And it was fucking, it was dope. We went, we had a bunch of meats. You know, that's my favorite. Okay. That's my favorite shit. I love me some meats. So that's what I did. I had some meats. There's an Etsy strike happening.
Stank.
Bro, Jinsui, this is the most like... What? What the fuck is that? What? I mean, I hope... Good luck to all the Etsy small artists, small business owners, you know, pushing against corporate greed at Etsy.
Thanks for all the content. Keep it up, big
I don't know how this works, though. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, I don't fully understand how... I'm not saying anything about this, okay? Solidarity. Good luck. Okay.
Hassle.
No, I'm not saying that, like, Etsy is shit. I'm sure it is. I've never used it. I'm
everyone is doing
a 30-year-old cishet man. So I've never utilized Etsy to all of its incredible glory. I'm sure there's plenty of things that you can buy on there. Okay, these are not websites built for me. It's like Pinterest. Literally, I've never been on Pinterest in my entire life. I clicked on that Pinterest link yesterday and I got scared because I don't know how it works. Tumblr is another one that I've never been on. Etsy is another one that I've never been on. So yeah, I don't know. Talk about the shooting. It happened 2 blocks from me. Okay, bro. Like, maybe instead of fucking spamming it in here, how about you just protect your family, okay? Like, calm down. We're going to get to it. Like, this man is just like, dude, talk about the shooting, talk about the shooting, talk about the shooting. How about you talk about the shooting, motherfucker? It happened next to you. You talk about it.
It's Tuesday, ain't it?
Calm down, bro. We're going to get to it, okay? Goddamn. Why you know fasting? What kind of question is that, bro? What are you, fucking stupid? I also drink alcohol from time to time, let me tell you. Suck me. Motherfucker thought I was still living in Turkey. He thinks he can, like, ask me questions like that. Shut up, bitch. I do what I want. There was a shooting in my small town in Cedar Rapids. You're gonna get to that? I'm kidding, but there was a shooting. Go off, King. Okay. So yeah, no, I had that big fuck meal, and then this morning I woke up. My accountant is panicking.
Love you, baby.
Like
smile.
panicking. My accountant is like, dude, the amount of taxes you're paying this year is a lot. I opened up an email. No, not an audit. No. I opened up an email and my accountant was like, dude, what the fuck? You don't do anything. You're a fucking dumbass. My accountant literally was like, you're so stupid. You're a stupid person. Like, your liability is fucking psychotic. Which, you know, there's no problem with. But also, obviously, you know, living in Los Angeles, paying 50% taxes, baby. Let's go. You didn't do quarterly payments? No. I know Felix does them. Not XQC, Felix Biederman.
Yo, Pog.
Broadcast on the Cayman Islands? Yeah, bro. Guys, so on that note, I'm moving. Why do people do everything to avoid paying taxes and then complain about the state of this place? Wait, first of all, like, the average American can't even avoid, like, to pay taxes, okay? And if you're like me and you don't fucking move assets around or, like, make investments or whatever the fuck, you pay a percentage,
6
like
months,
50% of my fucking straight up yearly earnings goes to the government, okay? Straight up. Straight the fuck up. Now, that's, you know, that's what the average American is also paying as well. That's what the average American is paying percentage-wise.
Hi, Hasan.
And a lot of that, and the average American on top of that doesn't even have any money left over. At least I have some money left over. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have money left over in the process. If you're like a normal American human being, then you don't even have money left over in the process. You know what I mean? But rich people don't even do any of that shit normally. Rich people just like move their assets around, you know, fucking 50% tax. What the fuck is that? You pay more than in Sweden? Yeah, the wackest part about it is that I pay 50% of my earnings, right? Because I'm in the top tax bracket for California on both California, which is 13.5% or something, and then 37 for federal. So, like, I'm getting, you know, I'm paying those taxes. I have no problem with that. But then no fucking healthcare, dude. No healthcare, no mass transit. Homelessness is on the fucking rise. I see people fucking dying on the streets. It's dog shit. I'm like, come on, dude. Do something, please. And it's like, no, we can't. We need to fund the police, actually. We need to make sure that fucking, you know, cops have landmines that they can use in Inglewood. Like, we need to put anti-personnel mines in Inglewood. So sorry, like, you just can't. We can't actually build sustainable and a housing first policy for homeless people. You know, that's crazy. That's crazy. It sucks. But you know, what are you gonna do? Okay, yeah, cops need a Titan mech. Exactly.
Let's go.
We're paying for the Lamborghini and drones. $10 billion for New York City cops, and they still can't stop a subway shooting. Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna talk about that.
Radicalized smile.
Wait, they don't actually have landmines, right? That was a joke. Yes, I'm joking. The Los Angeles Police Department does not currently use, to my knowledge, anti-personnel landmines, which would be illegal regardless. Not yet. Part of the reason why they probably wouldn't use landmines is because landmines are not created to kill people. They're created to maim. Like, the whole purpose of landmines is that they blow your fucking dick off. They blow your legs off. You don't die. Like, and the LAPD is much more effective at mag dumping. They found that is, like, way better at fucking immediately and quickly murdering someone. than landmines. Landmines are one of the most evil inventions of all time. Yep.
Wiggle.
Those of you who don't know, the purpose of landmines is not necessarily to kill someone. It's to destroy them. It's to fucking blow their legs off. It's to destroy their, you know, to blow them up in half, basically.
Shitty day in Brooklyn, Sag.
Reports say none of the substations have working cameras, and yet they just funded $850 million for a new stadium for the Bills, whose owner is worth $7 billion. Getting your legs blown off won't kill you, therefore it's not dangerous. Conservative COVID logic applied to ban weapons. Yeah, that's right, brother. I'll take it. Everybody's talking about landmines. I'm built differently. Conservatives also think like I did when I was younger, that you can just simply fucking jump as an elevator is falling at the last second and survive.
HasanAbi just finished season
like that's the attitude that they have, which is literally what fucking.
Anyway,
that's just how they operate. They operate in that way. Motherfucker said, "Do you not have an LLC, brother? I don't even have a credit card." Okay, I'm not exactly giving financial advice out here. Okay, I'm not. I got less financial advice to give you than Ty Lopez, and that's saying something because he's only giving you bad financial advice. And even then, on accident, he could be giving you some financial advice. I got nothing for you, okay? The Macy's, thank you for the playlist. Yeah, let's blast off. On that note, let's fucking blast off. You know, we got a lot going on. Okay, we're gonna get to all of it. I just wanted to give you guys a little update on my life. You know,
we gonna watch Playing It Straight.
We are going to Coachella. Will and I. We're gonna touch tips. We're gonna be docking the entire weekend. You know, I've been doing exercises to make sure my foreskin is longer. So yeah, we're gonna be just fucking. We're gonna be docking glizzies. Fan meetup at Coachella? No, will not be doing that. No homo, of course. Yes, of course, obviously. I am. Yeah, the first time I'm ever going to Coachella with like a. Okay, now that's queer baiting. No, it's not queer baiting. I said no homo. Obviously, duh. You know the rules, man. It's like if we're docking in a fucking jacuzzi, as long as we're 5 feet apart, it's fine. It's not gay.
Gay rights, trans rights, no one is free until we are all free.
Turk with foreskin? No, I don't. I don't have foreskin. Of course, sünnet ettiler beni. They stole from me, okay? I am not intact. But I'm trying. That's why I was saying like I was, you know, I'm doing workouts to elongate my foreskin. Okay. At any point, there might be around 50 people in this chat that are going to Coachella just to see you. I doubt it. Okay, so I will be there though. I am gonna try to stream from Coachella. I'm trying to set that up right now. And this is the first time I'm ever going to Coachella where like I'm not a fucking broke boy. You know what I mean? Ironic because like that image that you guys use of me from that private jet is from a time when I was very much a broke boy. All of that shit was free. I went with like Forever 21 to do an activation, stuff like that back in the day. I've actually never been to Coachella as like a dude who's like paying to go to Coachella. You know what I mean? I've never done that. So never not been as a broke boy. So we'll see how it works. It'll probably still suck. I do hate the desert. I'm pretty much going because it's like if I don't go, it's FOMO. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's what it is. That's what's going on. A 30-year-old on a Forever 21 jet? Dude, I'm not fucking 30 years old forever, you dumb fuck. Like, motherfucker, are you stupid? Do you have no object permanence? Why do people think I've been 30 my whole life? No, dickhead, I was 26, okay? In 2018. What do you think I was 30 my entire life? What the fuck? How stupid. I'm not even angry because like some of you chatters are just like fucking trying to be like, dude, you're so old. You're too old to do that. It's like in an effort to try to get an easy dunk, you just come across like an absolute fucking moron. Okay, I'm disappointed. I'm mad and disappointed how stupid you are. That like in an effort to try to fucking be like, dude, you're old. You just forget that like time passes. Okay, we are talking about 4 years ago, 5 years ago. The reason why this is a soft spot is because it's like the most common internet dunk that I get. Look at this fucking dumbass wearing these outfits. He's 30 years old. It's like, motherfucker, I was 22. You went so far down my Instagram to find shit that I was wearing when I was like 23 years old, okay? 22 years old, 23 years old. 7 fucking years ago, you're putting it on here being like, look at this fucking idiot 30-year-old man wearing this shit. I'm like, I'm 23 in that photo, you fucking psycho. It's from 7 years ago.
Hello.
How desperate are you, dude? What the fuck? And it's like, it's mind-boggling. I mean, I guess I should be like happy about it because they still think I look the same as I did when I was like 23 or 24. You know what I mean? You feel me? Like, I guess I haven't changed all that much look-wise that like they just fucking think I'm the same person, I guess. But like, motherfucker, that's like 7 years old. Can't blame them. You don't look any older now. I mean, I don't know. I feel like I'm old. 30 years old, bald, fat, rich. Anyway. Are you planning to do any vlogging at Coachella? Just gonna relax and enjoy? I mean, we'll see. We'll see what up. We'll see what's up. I might actually fucking do a little stream with SSSSS Sniper Wolf potentially. So we'll see.
Double the brain rot.
Like, I'm trying to do some fucking collabs out there, brother. You know, trying to do some fun shit. So we'll see. No fucking way, Lamau. What do you mean, dude? Turkish is. Have you not heard all the problems with her? No, I have not.
Yo,
What? Dude, I'm sure everyone will elaborate on what the problems with her are, though. I'm sure she's very problematic. Get a driver out there. Ubers will be non-existent. I mean, we'll see what happens.
I still like tuning in to watch in the other tab at work.
Darman collab win. Dude, I would love to do a Darman collab. It's just e-drama, dude. No need to get into it. Probably some shit like that. It's probably like minor transgressions and shit. You know what I mean? But piled on together, slapped on by people who are like, this is the most serious thing on the planet. Or maybe she's done some crazy shit. I think she got like arrested. Wild stuff before, but other than that, I don't know. Okay. I don't care. We'll see. She beat the shit out of a kid with leukemia once. Yeah, he probably deserved it. Okay. Let's blast off. I keep forgetting to write this. Also, my back hurts. I squatted today and my back hurts, and I'm like kind of worried.
Can't wait.
Wait, she made fun of a. She treated a fan with cancer like shit. That was really fucked up. Wait, for real? That's crazy.
It isn't Bronx or East New York.
No way, dude. Oh shit, that's funny. There's no shot. Oh my god, there is no shot. That sounds made up, dude. That sounds so insane for a human being to do.
Hassle.
Wait, for real? Okay, that's wild. All right, listen. We're gonna... It's a Keemstar story. Yeah, people love to hate on Keemstar and then repeat everything that Keemstar covers as a fucking story. Okay. When it's someone that they don't like. Can we just move on? I don't know what the fuck is her deal, okay? I might not even actually end up streaming with her, okay? But I definitely won't be able to stream with her if you guys fucking keep doing this shit. So let's get to the like actual, real human being news that are important and pertinent, not to just you in your extremely online space that you exist in, and like the real news. But before that, I need to blast off. Oh, dude, that's awesome. Okay, I'm going to use that Marat gif. Okay.
15 months. Can I get a welcome to the jungle?
Looking at some of the details. Shooting. It's breaking, so not coverage. Plus Russia's escalations in on MMA Watch. What the fuck is that? Milking a tragedy? Wait, hold on. One second before I do this. Hold on. Let me just fucking... What is this? Shameless, lol, even can't get past 30,000 viewers. Milking a tragedy, says MMA Watcher. You have 40 fucking... Why am I responding to this? Oh, God. It just popped up on my notifications. Brother, I'm a fucking news commentator! This is my job! What's wrong with you? Okay, there it is. Sorry, I had to get it out. And now I blocked. Dumbass tweeting it from his fucking Twitter for Android. Ugh. Okay, all right. Let's get back to it. All right.
You say they aim the LAPD here is non-lethal.
Eastern Ukraine. And more Hogwatch later. Plus gay among us.
17 months, let's go.
I don't think people in the back heard you. Sorry. I just like, I do think some people deserve to be melted. Like, and that's, if you're that type of person, like, you would best serve as biomatter, straight up. Like, that's probably what's going to happen inevitably. Like, you know, the wealthy people are going to realize, like, oh yeah, the working class is not, you know, important enough to us. And I really hope the Redditors who love like being libertarians and, you know, dunk on me regularly by saying the most idiotic shit. Like, I hope that they are the first, the ones that try to drive any kind of reaction out of me. Punishing 25K views for a random twat on the internet? Yeah, you're right. I'm just saying that, like, I hope, you know, I hope that they are the ones who get melted first. They probably will, because they'll be like, it's okay. If my bourgeois masters want me to be melted, then, you know, it's appropriate. I will do it for the economy.
Nine months.
Let the free market decide their fate of being melted. Gay among us. Continue. In
as buff.
I might actually do potentially I might do like a IRL stream before we go to Coachella, by the way. Here, I'm tweeting it out. Here we go. Blasting off, boys. There are probably people in here who would do that to you as well. What do you mean?
Speaking of housing,
there are probably people in here who would do that to you as well, like melt me. Yes, there are definitely a lot of people who would love to murder me. 100 million%. They make themselves known regularly in my DMs. So, you know, that is something I'm dealing with regularly.
As nerd.
I don't know why you thought that that was a good own. Yoinking memes again. Nice. Dude, the moment I fucking respond to... The moment I respond to negativity, like old school chatters that have been around for a long ass fucking time keep crawling out of the woodwork to be like, let me get some of that too. Are leftists allowed to wear iced out Cuban link? Wear whatever the fuck you want.
Has raid.
Okay. Yes, Ukraine has captured Victor Medvedchuk. Yeah, if anything but, this is Murat appreciation. That's why it deserves a retweet regardless. Here it is. Stop reading schizo posters, please, Hasan. Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. I literally should stop. I'm doing only JS. I'm doing only JS again. We are positive. We are firmly within the positivity arc, and it's ridiculous that I would even entertain some of these fucking weirdos.
Yeet.
Okay. Why your streams never go this hard? Oh, this is funny as fuck. I saw this. Just got killed with the judge in Valorant by a kid with Twitch in his name, and this is what I see. Freaking flames indoors. I can't get over it. Yeah, that's a massive danger. I cannot believe he's doing pyrotechnics. And his heart rate is going through the fucking roof too. After seeing this, you are objectively a worse streamer than this kid. I will never be that good. Like, if you ever expect me to be as good as that kid, you're out of your fucking mind. Okay? Typical Eastern Bloc streamer, yeah, the most normal, the least ridiculous Eastern Bloc streamer. Someone said that's it. They put too much sugar in the Fruit Loops. There's no way this kid's in America. I don't think, or maybe he is. I don't know. This is like a European streamer for sure, maximum. Like either a European streamer. He's got a NASA hoodie. I don't know. Of course he's German. Yeah, Americans don't know what hard style is, okay? You get an American to listen to hard style and they don't understand what it is. They don't understand that it's like, they think it's not music. They're like, this is noise, which they're not wrong. Okay? I mean, it's not even hard style. It's like, it's techno, right? I don't know what the fuck that is even. Twitter account has tons of GRE clips that you won't see on YouTube. Yeah. All right. This was someone asked like why this clip didn't pop off. I don't know.
But I don't think it's totally out of the question that the U.S. tries to invade Canada at some point in the coming.
No, it's never years. What? No, we would never do that. Canada is already like.
It would be smart. It would be better for everyone, honestly, if the U.S. invaded Canada. Okay.
Are you trying to get canceled? The fuck?
This is why they don't let me.
I love that she put her hand on the microphone like that's gonna stop. Okay, that's I say that all the time, but I say it as a joke.
I sort of.
Wait, that's awesome. They should.
For the best. But I don't think it's totally out of the question that the U.S.
That deserves a retweet.
Let's invade Canada, please.
Quote tweet it. Gilbert Gottfried died. Oh damn, bummer. R.I.P. I guess. Why are you guys freaking the fuck out? Gilbert Gottfried made me laugh at times when laughter did not come easily. What a gift. I did not know him well, but I love what he shared with me. My best wishes and sympathy to his family. Wait, what the fuck? You're breaking news here, Jason. Remember all the people during the W. Bush admin claiming we were going to form a North American union with Mexico and Canada and use it to scare the shit out of conspiracy theories? What? No, I don't remember that. The weebs are going crazy over this? What is this?
If
This
you
is
invade us,
terrifying
Quebec becomes
and
part
awful.
of America. Enjoy.
And no. Oh God, there's two of them.
20 months
I don't want
WTF
this.
feels like
I don't want
sex.
this at all. Anyway. Let's just continue. Here you go. One last blast off. Here. Interact with this, like it. Love it.
Happy
Able to
16
fucking
months,
retweet.
Azerbaijan.
And let's get to the fucking news. Okay. Serious news. All right. So, you guys know what my policy is on breaking news coverage. I only look at like whatever the official sources are saying. I try not to, get into additional. I try not to get into like additional speculation, stuff like that. There was a shooting that occurred in Brooklyn. As far as we know, it seemed. It seems premeditated. With like someone using gas and like gas masks and whatnot, and a lot of the things that people are criticizing in this situation. What most are criticizing in this situation, of course, revolve around how the NYPD has added cops in the subway by Eric Adams, and didn't more cops is not stopping this. Sort of thing from occurring. Don't forget to scan ahead. Yeah, I know. Yeah, they wore a gas mask. They threw some smoke bombs onto the train and shot people with a Glock. Anti-public transportation takes are about to go live. No shot. I know there's a ton of blood. I know. There were also reports early on about possible. There were reports early on about possible unexploded bombs as well. So, another Djibouti banger. Oh Jesus! It's a shame the shooter didn't jump the turnstile because NYPD would have been caught him by now. That is a good tweet. Born too late to own property, born too soon to be a TikTok star, born just in time to be a niche internet micro celebrity.
And doing all things blam.
Some people are saying there might be, according to an NYPD source, and I saw this as well. Hold on. According to an NYPD source, the subway shooting suspect escape may have actually been enabled by a police error. The shooting likely happened while the Manhattan-bound N train was between 59th and 36th Street. When the train pulled up at 36th Street, some victims poured out onto the platform as smoke from munitions let off by the gas mask-wearing shooter billowed out from the train car. However, the local duty captain for Brooklyn South Patrol reportedly did not freeze all trains in and out of 36th Street Station, which is the transfer point for the N, R, and D trains. Guys, I don't think you guys understand, okay? The New York Police Department, with a budget larger than most countries' standing militaries, has a lot to do on their fucking hands, okay? There's always a cop stationed at these stations, okay? Well, I mean, $5.1 billion? Yeah. But let me tell you something. They're working hard, coughing on people without wearing masks, harassing random black teenagers, okay? Beating the shit out of people when they, avoid fares. Hazing them, even in certain instances, grabbing them by their fucking hair and dragging them. These are the important work. This is the important work that goes into the everyday existence of being an NYPD Boys in the Blue police officer, okay? And to make matters worse, they've been defunded, okay? They've been defunded. I mean, goddamn, dude. Instead of getting $7 gorillion, they're getting $6.9 gorillion in extra funding this year, okay? Their additional funding that they were supposed to get has been shaved by $0.0001 gorillion. That is a whole ass, that's wild. This, of course, impacts their morale. Cancel culture impacts their morale. They're worried that if they do their job, they're going to get canceled for it. By the way, everything I'm saying right now, you're going to hear from cops. Yeah, they were too busy. They were too busy destroying an encampment where, houseless people live. So they couldn't get to this, okay? That's probably what the anti-terror unit was doing. What is this? Why fund them? Law enforcement is the fattest profession. Study found. What the fuck? Bro, this study said, have you seen Chief Wiggum? What a study, dude. That's so stupid that they made this. Yo, that's hilarious. That's so dumb. Police officers, firefighters, and security guards have the highest rates of obesity of all professions, according to the Wall Street Journal analysis from the data from the American Journal of Preventative Medicine. Oh, according to the journal, 40.7% of police, firefighters, and security guards are obese. Other jobs with high obesity rates include clergy, engineers, and truckers. To be fair, this is such a dumb study to conduct in America because, okay, that's literally that corresponds to just our obesity rate in general. What the fuck? Oh, okay. I got it. 40% of cops are obese. So are 40% of Americans. You know what I mean?
If only the NYPD had that.
That's right, brother. It's the most American profession you can be. There you go. Yeah, who isn't fucking obese in America? That, what are we gonna act like the thin blue line ain't thin no longer, brother? That is a higher rate than any other physically active job. That's the significance. I mean, talk to me when it's 40% of postal workers that are obese, okay? Because then it's shocking. If you think that police are doing any sort of physical activity, I don't know what to tell you. As a friend of the show, Brace Belden, adequately put, why do cops hate doing desk duty when all they do is sit in their fucking cars? They love just sitting around. It's not like they love, doing beat cop shit. They don't love walking around. They've never walked a day in their goddamn lives. What's the difference? When you're doing desk duty, you're just sitting inside rather than outside in your cop car that you can, use to fucking cut red lights and violate every fucking traffic law that's out there. And maybe, in the case of the New York Police Department, as a matter of fact, kill a homeless person for no reason because you were, again, doing a traffic moving violation. Oh, without any sort of repercussions whatsoever, by the way. Yeah, that's right. That happened last week. They can't harass minorities at a desk. That's true. Eric Adams caught COVID. Most mimetic mayor of 2022 prediction coming true. I mean, he would have had some wild shit to say about this. Okay? He would have had some wild shit to say about this situation if he wasn't fucking, you know, tucked away because of COVID. If that's the case, why is every TikTok cop jacked as fuck and every girl cop hot? I've been lied to. No. Yeah. Police killing people via their cars so common. It happened 3 times in 2 hours as I was riding my bike to and from work once. Okay. Hasan, I was just in a lecture about the Young Turks and Armenian genocide. Oh, your name came up in class, lol. Wait, what? Why did my name come up? Wait, what? I hate the New York Post, but Uber and Lyft.
Glad to be a member of this community. No matter.
Wait, hold up. Let me see. There might be some. Bro, come on, bro. There's like I can't even look at the New York Post. They just straight up show the video, dude. What the fuck? Yo, why is our media so insane, brother? They straight up. I was like, oh, I don't know if I should click on this without, you know, looking at it ahead of time. And immediately New York Post is like, oh, here, watch people get shot on the fucking N train on their morning commute. Like, I don't understand how Americans operate this way. Eric Adams already saying wild shit. Speaking on Brian Layler, New York City mayor says he's going to double the number of police officers in the city subway system in the wake of this morning's shootings. Oh, fucking sick, dude. So double this, save your money, and don't bother. I mean, what are they supposed to do? Be vigilant? Like, come on. Like, there is no black teenager running over the turnstile, okay? They don't need to attack at this moment. At this very moment. And look, this cop isn't even doing littering. He's actually throwing a trash out. You're just showing cops doing good stuff now. It's just like, this is such a fucking, I mean, this is such a New York story, specifically because, yeah, I don't care that Gilbert Gottfried died. I'm sorry, okay? You say that, but some of them are watching you. Bro, I fucking doubt that cops watch me, okay? If they're watching me to be like, fuck this guy. I wish I could, you know, be in a tactical situation where I could tactically self-defend myself from him or some shit. I don't think they would appreciate what I have to say if they watched for an extended period of time. But my point is, do more celebrity worship. What the fuck? Worship the cops? So what I was going to say is before I got cut off on making this brilliant point, but I'm a cop and I would like to have close contact with you. Wait, what? No, please don't. Sorry, man, but you know nothing about being a cop. Not going to write a story about the 50 things I heard you say that were completely wrong. Maybe get off the computer and get some real police training, and I'm sure you'll grow up fast. Have a great day. Is this a copy pasta? What the fuck is this? Where is this from?
Has what?
There's no shot that's a serious fucking take, but that's funny as fuck. Yeah. Anyway, the point I was going to make is that while this is a obviously horrific tragedy, it's incredibly commonplace in the United States of America, where our schools are a fucking shooting gallery, and so is the, you know, subway, train station, the limited amount of like, you know, public transit we have in an otherwise somewhat walkable city like New York. But more importantly than anything else, this is such a fucking quintessential like time to shit on the New York Police Department story, because everybody hates this. Like, people in New York despise this shit because most rich people don't take the fucking subway. So, you know, they fucking hate it. Most people that do take the subway hate this shit because their presence is not exactly welcoming or even in any capacity making people feel safe.
To America's sweet
I personally
Gilbert
do not
Gottfried.
fucking feel safe
I
when
hope
I'm
he's
around
toasting a
police.
bullshit
So
life with
I don't know
Norman
about
Ball.
you guys. And I'm in the fucking at the very least I'm in the wealth bracket to actually feel safe. That's, you know, I'm giving them javelin missiles with my fucking taxes. So I don't know what the fuck's going on. I'm the police and I'm here to arrest you. You've broken the law. I did not write the law. I may even disagree with the law, but I will enforce it. No matter how you plead, cajole, beg, or attempt to stir my sympathies, nothing you will do will stop me from placing you in a steel cage with gray bars. What the fuck? Anyway, turns out Uber literally was fucking price gouging as well, which is pretty poggers, you know? Never let a good tragedy go to waste, boys. Uber and Lyft suspended surge pricing in the Sunset Park neighborhood of Brooklyn after irate New Yorkers shared screenshots showing sky-high rideshare prices following a horrific subway attack that injured at least 29 people. The shocking assault, which reportedly saw a gunman shoot at least 10 people instead of a smoke grenade around 8:30 a.m., snarled train service across the city for hours and left New York scrambling for rides. Both Uber and Lyft appear to implement surge pricing, which involves upping prices when demand is high for at least some customers in the area following an attack. It's automatic surge price. It didn't sound like Uber was trying to gouge that shit. Yeah, probably. But, you know, be a little bit quicker in fucking shutting that off in times of need, I think.
Need more money.
Fare surge after a mass shooting in Brooklyn when subways are shut down, one Twitter user wrote, accompanied by a screenshot of Uber offering an $85 ride to Manhattan that user said was taken at 10:40 a.m. Shame on you, Uber. Wait, this price is too much for Uber? What? You mean to tell me this is $85 is actually a lot for Uber? Because California Uber prices are fucking broken. Let me tell you something. Surge pricing is always automated and has been refunded automatically after tragedy since 2017 Australia. Oh, damn. So wait, you're telling me when you walk past a cop car randomly, you feel unsafe? Wait, you don't? 1,000,000%. Wait, what? Is that even a fucking regular occurrence? Yes. Have you ever driven? I guess like California, unironically, is one of the few states where cops aren't as fucked when it comes to like patrolling highways and shit. But like, yes, dude. When I'm driving and there's a cop car behind me, immediately I start picking my nose. I'm like, look, I'm doing something so not suspicious. Like, I'm not doing anything. I'm not like selling drugs or some shit, okay? But immediately I'm like, look at me. I'm picking my nose, okay? And they always come up your fucking asshole. And I'm like, what is he doing? Is he looking at my license plate? Do I have a bench warrant? You know, do I have an arrest warrant? I don't know. I fucking don't know. What will happen to me? Will he pull me over? You're white and don't commit crimes. What are you afraid of? I mean, I've been arrested too much and also have been harassed too much in my youth and even to this fucking day to not be uncomfortable around police. But if you are telling me that you never automatically go, don't be suspicious, don't be suspicious, don't be suspicious, don't be suspicious when a fucking cop is like tailgating you, I don't know what to tell you. So, and same with like them walking around. Dude, here's the thing. First and foremost, like the reason why I never feel safe around cops is because like even in this situation, like, they got guns, brother. Like, it's a group of fucking psychotic, oftentimes, like, super reactionary weirdos with guns that can literally kill you with no repercussions whatsoever. So why the fuck wouldn't I be feel uncomfortable around that? Like, are you European? Do you not understand why that's like a weird situation no matter what? Like, you might have normalized it in your head, but to me, that's like a wild thing. I'm literally around a person with a weapon that can just fucking pull his weapon out and, you know, pop me on the spot.
Back in the day, Republicans and Democrats.
So yes, I have always felt this way around cops. Did you see the cops that pushed over the elderly guy that bled from the ear during protests got off a few days ago? Yes, I did. I was gonna cover it the other day, but I forgot. I literally trust a random chud with a pistol and a cob. At least my family can successfully sue the chud.
A cob.
Have you ever been questioned by cops? Terrifying. Of course I've been questioned. I've been arrested. Of course I've been questioned by cops. And also, I've had cops point guns at me as well. It's not fun, is all I'm saying. It's not a... None of these things are fun experiences, and it just builds up after a while, where you're like, I kind of have a resentment. Especially because I guess, cover non-fucking stop the kind of brutal actions that they commit regularly. So... yeah, I guess I'm wild for having a take like this, but I don't personally think that it's cool to have a fucking paramilitary of untrained, unfit, unaccountable psychos who could just kill you, like, on the spot and get away with it. I don't know. I personally think that's wild that we just kind of allow that to continue happening.
I'm French and I feel unsafe.
Like, if cops didn't carry guns and they just, like, you know, if it was like mano y mano, you know what I'm saying? Like, if they didn't carry guns and I could, like, have a normal conversation with them without, like, that kind of intimidation factor being like, if they didn't have a track record of, like, you know, false imprisonment regularly as a part of their modus operandi, maybe I could have a different point of view on cops overall. And just and basically potentially you know, only criticize them as a function of the capital owning class. But yes, friendly reminder for the EU chatters: it takes more hours of training to become a licensed barber, electrician, or a plumber in the US compared to a police officer. Cops should only be given a bullet to use for each time they let themselves get shot in their body armor. This idea would solve a lot. I agree. Brilliant. M-HUD with a brilliant fucking take. In Germany, cops are always the incel-looking dudes with guns who think they're shit. I mean, the German police force, as far as I understand, has some serious fucking issues with what's going on with, like, Nazi stuff. So, and the military too. I feel like every other week there's like another fucking entire brigade that they needed to dissolve because it was just full of actual Nazis. Just a little bit of right-wing infiltration in the most reactionary forces of society. That's crazy. It's almost like it's universal. So the same as in America? No, in America, they don't fucking dissolve the brigades that have Nazis. They promote them. What the fuck are you talking about? So no, not like America. In Germany, they're like, oh, you're a Nazi. Let's get you out of here. You know, you're going to jail. In America, they're like, oh, you're a Nazi? Me too. Perfect. Here, you're now the chief of police. You're now the chief of police. Let's give you, let's triple your budget also. What is this? This is the best police take. American police force defecate. Obesity, high cholesterol. Too slow to chase crook. Shoot minority. Racist. Spin donut around. Dick, waste, time, smoke, drug, evidence. Our ugly buzz cut. Shit brain. No calculate. Stink foot boot. Misogynist. Defecate. What is this, bro? That's awesome. Cops shake their dicks on Americans every day and they won't stop. Yeah, I mean, it's just like wild. It's wild. And the worst part about it is like, let me tell you something. I'm not like against the concept of a you know, group of individuals that are supposed to uphold our law and order, okay? It's a they have a fundamental role to play in society. But in theory, it's supposed to protect and serve the interests of the citizens. You know, you got the fucking crazy detectives that are out there solving crime, shit like that. Except that's just in the movies, motherfucker. In the real world, all they're doing is beating the shit out of protesters. And like protecting and serving the interests of capital. Police ask help from landlords. There you go. The Los Angeles Police Department is having such a difficult time attracting recruits that leaders plan to seek help from the business community. Specifically, LA's landlords will be asked to voluntarily subsidize apartments for police recruits for 2 years. That way, those incoming officers can afford to live in the city. Oh my God. The murder solve rate in Chicago is less than 25. Are they? It's probably because the cops don't want to. What are they going to do? Investigate themselves and find themselves guilty of doing murder? Okay, to be fair, there's a lot more going on in Chicago than that, but still. The problem isn't cops having guns. The problem is shit training they can stumble through and still pass with honors. I mean, it's a bit column A, bit column B, you know? There's a lot. There's a lot of it's just all of it, dude. The entire fucking system is fundamentally designed to basically churn out the exact same outcomes of like what slave patrols did, okay? It's just hidden under like multiple layers of civility. That's the difference. Our role players that showed to become a cop to live in WeHo. Okay, the latest updates from the Brooklyn, New York subway shooting. The suspect is still at large, and the manhunt is underway. Victim count climbs to at least 29 with various injuries. Some schools are on lockdown in the area and have begun dismissing students, and the New York City mayor says security cameras were not working in the subway station, by the way. They are by definition an instrument of the state and therefore the bourgeois class. Exactly.
Pogu landlords. Art.
It's not just shit training, guys. The point is they're supposed to be shit. The lack of training is like kind of a part of it. It plays a role in what the cops are supposed to do because victims of police are always going to be what the wealthy, civilized society would consider transients, you know, vagrants, homeless people, poor people, sex workers, minorities, marginalized communities, poor people. Okay? So the amount of brutality that you subject those derelict undesirables in the eyes of the bourgeois is fine. That's okay. Mentally ill people, exactly. So it's all right. That's like kind of the point. You're supposed to fucking beat the shit out of them. They're bad. They're wrong. They need to know their place. Their place is very far away from us wealthy folk. Okay? Us good citizens, us productive members of society. Okay. UK police fined Boris today for breaking COVID laws after resisting for so long. Coincidentally, Commissioner of the police who went to school with Boris left the force 2 days ago, so they can't protect him anymore. The New York Times responded to a mass subway shooting with a relentless string of propaganda. Let's look closely at how the New York Times used the crisis to boost police talking points and lies in some creative ways. I love Alec Karakatsanis, Equality Alec, who is the founder and executive director of the Civ Rights Corps. I rely on his data regularly. Very good at this stuff. Effectively combating propaganda in the media all the time. First, New York Times used a mass shooting to direct readers to unrelated articles awash in police talking points. I've separately addressed the reporting that New York Times tried to use the mass shooting to get more attention to. Here, the whole, like, here's what you need to know. Shooting in subway comes amid rising gun violence across the city. Tuesday's shooting is reminiscent of a string of other incidents in recent years. A rise in shootings has rattled the city and colored perceptions of public safety. This is subtle, but the New York Times is making a political move here. It is linking a unique mass shooting event by a lone gunman to the kinds of daily crime stories it has been writing, suggesting, contrary to evidence, that neighborhood crime is out of control. This is at the top of the story. They say it's reminiscent of a string of other incidents in recent years. How so? Why are they trying to shoehorn this into a trend when the abnormal characteristics are what makes it most concerning? Like, this is not happening on a daily basis. People aren't, like, doing targeted fucking strikes at the Brooklyn subway stations every week. Okay, there isn't like a fucking targeted strike happening with like smoke with potentially smoke grenades and shit. Like, that would be fucking wild. Okay. Second, did you notice that the New York Times markets these 3 propaganda articles as what you need to know? A pernicious aspect of the New York Times is its decade-long effort not to just shape people's views of the world, e.g. more cops is good, but to tell them that it is all the news that's fit to print. New York Times narrowly curtails our worldview and then convinces us that this is all we need to know. Third, let me take a note out of the many bad things of these pieces. The lead article on the shooting today did not mention that the U.S. is an outlier in the availability of guns or poverty or inequality or lack of mental health care, or that New York just added more cops to the subways. I think that is the worst part. That last part is that last part is the fucking worst part. If your job is to inform the people, what the fuck is wrong with you? You're not going to talk about how, like, actually what we need is more guns and more cops. Okay, well, what about the fact that there were more cops? Like, they had added more cops recently. Eric Adams is like a cop. Eric Adams is literally a cop. I mean, he is and has very actively mentioned how he needs to do more policing, like how he's going to do Rudy Giuliani style fucking he's going to be a Rudy Giuliani style cop mayor. Nowhere in the articles about the shooting is the possibility raised that all these investments in new cops didn't and can't stop events like this. Nowhere is the scientific consensus mentioned. Violence is mostly not a function of police at all. Why is this missing? Who benefits? What does the New York Times do instead? It points to readers of fabrication by the NYPD that a recent decline of 9 homicides in an arbitrarily selected 3-month period was due to a surge of arrests. Let me be clear. The timing of this doesn't add up, and not a shred of evidence supports it. Yeah, it's because they were finally fucking arresting criminals. That's why it stopped. Notoriously, people are like, oh man, I was going to do, a lot of crimes, but I'm going to stop doing crimes now because I can't get away with it. Like, that's fucking stupid. That's not, if that was the case, America would have a 0% crime rate, dude. We literally jail the most. We jail more than anyone else. Either something is in the fucking water and every American is a twisted freak that is like bloodthirsty and constantly wants to do crime non-fucking stop, or maybe this kind of draconian attitude is not actually a viable deterrence measure, as indicated by a billion empirical studies. And even theorists and philosophers from fucking ancient Greece were talking about crime being linked to socioeconomic conditions. It's not like this is a new thing. Okay? Crime manifests as a consequence of your material conditions, okay? We've known this from like day fucking one. not socialism to say this. The stakes are enormous. New York Times lets police make stuff up, suggesting a link between 4,000 arrests in March to shooting declines in January and February. This would be laughable if it weren't leading millions of people into thinking that there is some connection between these mass arrests and murder prevention. Fourth, the New York Times editors went in and altered the initial factual headline to create a narrative. This was a choice. Why? Who benefits from creating this constant fear? I mean, did it? Do we have instant polling? The original was a statement of fact. The second is an editorializing empirical claim. They started several people shot in Brooklyn subway station to shooting in Brooklyn subway station heightens simmering fears about public safety. What is happening? Where did this come from? Fourth, the New York Times editors went in and altered the initial factual headline. As I've noted, major corporate media have huge incentives to play up fears over certain kinds of harm, but to ignore far larger harms. Obviously. And fifth, the New York Times also uses the opportunity to link to Eric Adams defending the return to brutal, illegal, and ineffective broken windows policing. Incredibly, the New York Times asserts as a fact that the goal of such policing was to prevent more serious crime. Mr. Adams is a former police officer, remember. As I've said, Eric Adams, memeable, but also kind of dangerous if you understand what his attitude is about crime and how to solve it. Has sought to reassure residents, has made tackling gun crime a central focus of his administration. He recently deployed 7 new anti-gun police units, and last month, the police department began to enforce so-called quality of life matters, recalling the city's embrace of broken windows policing, the stricter enforcement of low-level offenses in an effort to prevent more serious crimes. This New York Times fact would come as a surprise to the generation of scholars who have demonstrated that such policing was about controlling certain populations, serving interests of developers, part of an explicit gentrification strategy, boosting overtime pay, racial control, etc. This is just pure political propaganda to couch the very specific goals of elite capitalists and police union enforcers as ostensibly about preventing crime. It was never about that, and New York Times doesn't even suggest anyone thinks otherwise, which is unreal. Like, they want to do this shit because they make more money as a consequence of these attitudes, as a consequence of like working this way. It's the fun type of work, okay?
After 8 months goes hard.
It's the fun type of work. You get to effectively have carte blanche to harass whatever minority you want to. For example, under the auspices of stop and frisk being somehow connected to decreasing gun violence. When it is completely just a fucking gigantic failure. Wild that like anyone could even be like, oh, we got to do this again, actually. It was pretty good. It's like never worked. It never worked. It never fucking worked. Yes, widespread crime is great. Brother, not a single person is saying this. That's not a concept. As a matter of fact, the reason why I'm fucking pissed off is because the cops aren't doing what they're supposed to. You get so fucking mad when you pay your taxes and it goes to like, I don't know, the new laser guided munition system that fucking Raytheon is developing that is going to zap brown children in Yemen from 1,000,000 miles away, okay? And that's understandable. You're like, oh, our budget is inflated. Our American military budget is so crazy, okay? But when it comes to like also the American version of that, the domestic military force that we have in the form of policing, not achieving the fundamental goal that it has, which is to stop crime, okay? You're like, no, the problem is too severe. We need to give more money. We need to give them more money. What do you want? Should they have Javelin missiles, dude? Is that going to stop it? Should they just be able to fucking vaporize someone with a laser? Maybe then there will be less crime. Judge Dredd style, just fucking walk around and just put one in the back of people's heads. Because they kind of do that already. And it doesn't feel like it's stopped anything. Why would a cop put his life in danger for $72K a year? Are you on crack? Okay. Then they shouldn't exist then, I guess. Is that your argument? It's their fucking job. Just like my job is to serve you the top of the hour ad break, okay? And, you know, you might not like it, but that's what I do. That's my fucking job. At the top of the hour, there's a 6-second ad break. Now, of course, if you want an ad-free broadcasting experience, as one does, okay, all you need to do is subscribe. You do that for $5, or you can do that for free. With the Twitch Prime, that is. By connecting your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account, you get one free Prime subscription a month. Use that. You get one free Twitch Prime to use here on your favorite streamer. Here's the 1 minute ad break now. Sorry. What about firefighters? They also risk their lives for a salary, yet we don't ask if they put out fires. Yeah, that's fucking, it's crazy. I know. Like, that's the other thing. Like, yeah, firefighters get similar benefits, okay? And they perform an incredibly important fucking role. Could you imagine if firefighters were just starting fires nonstop instead of putting them out? Like, the firefighter shows up down the street and you're like, oh, fuck, here we go, dude. And they just start lighting up houses on fire. They have flamethrowers. And then we're just sitting there and we're like, we need to give more money to these firefighters, I think. That'll stop it. Like, that's the only way that they can, that's the only way that we can solve this problem. And then they're like, hey, man, there's a fire right here. Can you help me? And he's like, shut the fuck up, bitch. And then he fucking burns you with a flamethrower. By the way, that story that I just crafted here sounds insane, right? It sounds insane to you because you're a sane person. That's literally a one-to-one comparison to how cops operate. And when you defend them, you're defending that firefighter analogy, okay? You literally are just like, no, it's fine that cops come in and, you know, just fucking shoot people, ask questions later. And that's it. There you go again, saying things and not citing your sources. Toxic SJW, that's funny. Good one. My man's like, source, please. Source on how firefighters would light fires up instead. Source. Do you believe that a majority of cops are bad, corrupt? I think that they might start off with honorable intentions because, like, you know, the media makes it seem like you're a savior. Okay? But the entire system of policing, albeit is a very important and I would go so far as say necessary structure in any sort of like organized, civilized society, is fundamentally flawed in the United States of America. So it basically takes you and turns you into, when you go through that institution of policing in America, it turns you into a bad person. You could be a good person otherwise, okay? Maybe you're a good person in your real life, even though 40%, you know, not exactly great. But statistically speaking, cops, maybe not so great in their real lives as well, but you know, 60%, maybe they're good, okay, in their normal lives when they're fucking cooking up brats, when they're your uncle and, you know, they're not being creepy, right? But when they put the fucking badge on, okay, when they put the vest on and they are patrolling the streets, they are enforcing an unjust system, okay, and unjust laws that are designed specifically to fuck over the most marginalized people in society. And therefore, in the act of operating as a policeman, it is incredibly difficult for them to be good. Okay? Because in most instances, for them to be good, they need to literally violate the rules that were set in place and not enforce them. And sometimes they do. And you know what happens to those good cops? they get fucking fired. That is, of course, if they're not killed. Okay? So that's why people say ACAB, all cops are bad, or all cops are bastards, or whatever the fuck. Okay? Firefighter arson is a persistent phenomenon involving a minority of firefighters who are also active arsonists. It has been reported that roughly 100 U.S. firefighters are convicted of arson each year. What the fuck? Wait, that's insane. There was a self-reported case on domestic violence in the police force in the 1990s, which shockingly immediately stopped after this was publicized, the study. But in that self-reported study conducted, 40% of cops said that, yes, they do domestic violence. Self-reported study. Immediately after that study was published, they were like, we're never doing that again. Are you fucking stupid? Sussy Joao do Brasil, thank you for the 5 gifted subs. Anyway, so with all the extra clicks the New York Times gets from a breaking shooting, it used the opportunity to stoke fear, steer readers to police lies, highly dubious assertions portrayed as fact, and science-denying suggestions that more cops and not less inequality is an answer to violence. I feel like a broken record, but it's warranted because the New York Times is a broken record. With all the breathless stories about violence, all types of crime in New York City and the United States are near historic lows. People literally don't believe this actual fact because of news coverage like this. An emergency focusing on interpersonal crime committed by poor people is being manufactured before our eyes, and the same news institutions do not provide the same urgency to genuine threats to human civilization. Here's a cat. Here's his cat that jumped in a box this morning. This guy says, I will find information in who has done this act of violence. Good luck, man. Steven Seagal a bad cop? I don't think so. You're right, brother. Yes, Gilbert Gottfried died. R.I.P. to Gilbert Gottfried. Yes, that's all I'm going to say on the matter. New York City is not at a low. It's been rising since the start of the pandemic. First of all, that is... Dude, you literally did the thing that he's talking about. You just reported... You just repeated completely unsubstantiated propaganda that you read in the news, okay? If you actually look at the crime rates in New York City, first of all, since the beginning of COVID, are you fucking insane? There was a major dip in the beginning of COVID. Like a major dip because people weren't going outside. People had to stay indoors. So you're 100% wrong on that, okay? And since then, of course, since society has reopened, crime has increased as a consequence of that. So when you look at like 2020 to 2021 or to 2022, there is a rise in crime, but it doesn't even touch 2019 levels. The only thing, for example, in California that has risen since the beginning of COVID is murder, is homicide. And that shit's not happening in fucking rich neighborhoods. It's happening in poor neighborhoods.
Sex.
Okay? And rent, Pepela. That's true. Keep in mind that Chuds think 2020 was a crime spree. They weren't in the streets, but they're the real scares of what we did and said out there. It's better to look at crime rates from a decade to decade. It's the same argument that people like Crowder will use to discredit climate change. What are you talking about? Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, decade. Many Americans are convinced that crime is rising in the U.S. and they're wrong, but their fear makes everyone less safe. Would you get robbed this year? How would you rate your chances? Over 10 years, from 1994 to 2004, the National Survey of Economic Expectations asked respondents to do just that. People estimated their risk for a whole host of bad news, life events, robbery, burglary, job loss, losing their health insurance. But the survey didn't just ask respondents to rate their chances. It also asked whether those things had actually happened to them in the last year. And a combination of questions revealed something. What is this? Statista or whatever? Oh, here. Yeah, I mean, dude, yeah. Reported violent crime rate in the United States from 1990 to 2020 is just like insane. But if you ask people, they're like, oh no, it's just 100%, dude. Shit is popping the fuck off, dude. Like popping the fuck off. Crime has never been higher. Like, has it? It really? You think so? Things were so much better in the 90s. Now, this doesn't mean crime still doesn't exist. The problem is, at least some people believe that this dip, this major dip that has been ongoing since the 70s, corresponds to lead poisoning. Okay? So they think that that could be a part of that. USA violent crime is literally 10 times higher than the average of Europe. I wonder why. Perhaps there might be another reason, because doing violent crime is much easier in the United States of America. There are other factors that you could look to in the United States that are incredibly high. We are, our way of dealing with crime is by over-policing certain neighborhoods and also jailing people for pretty much in perpetuity, okay? Like locking them into criminal subjugation within the criminal justice system so they can make nice little, basically fucking free labor, slaves in our economy. Maybe it has something to do with the fact that we have more guns in America than we have people. And that number keeps going up. I mean, many, many things to consider here.
Smile.
Easier to commit crime on the internet than do it violently in person. It means that the average person in the U.S. has been conditioned to not think of the core issues within the context of problem solving. Yes. It's really sad that those people that were shot will also be shot again with a huge hospital bill. That's also true. If inequality is at an all-time high and crime is at an all-time low, how do you explain the inverse correlation? No, I think wealth inequality since this era has changed, but not as substantially as the crime rate has dipped. Like American inequality has been a factor no matter what. Like, it's not like inequality was not a problem in the fucking 90s. Like, of course it was. It was a gigantic issue. Crime goes down if you arrest everyone? Yeah, that's not the case. Okay.
In the criminal justice system, sexually based offenses are considered especially heinous.
What the fuck? Oh, dun dun. Is that CSI?
15-month brain rot, here we come.
Okay. The combination of questions reveals something important about American fear. We are terrible at estimating our risk of crime, much worse than we are at guessing the danger of other bad things. Across that decade, respondents put their chance of being robbed in the coming year at about 15%. Looking back, the actual rate of robbery was 1.2%. In contrast, when asked to rate their risk of upcoming job loss, people guessed about 14.5%, much closer to the actual job loss rate of 12.9%. Yeah. Because the media is not fucking, gaming the system in a way that to brainwash you about job loss. And it's very real and personal. But in a lot of instances, your only experience with crime, even if you live in a big city, revolves around what the media is telling you. And the media is telling you that it's rampant and it's going to fucking happen to you if you don't, pay cops or so they can have javelin missiles or something. Okay. In other words, we feel the risk of crime more acutely. We are certain crime is rising when it isn't. Convinced our risk of victimization is higher than it actually is. And in summer, when the president is sending federal agents to crack down on crime in major cities and local politicians are arguing over the risk of defunding the police, that disconnect matters. In an age of anxiety, crime may be one of our most misleading fears. Take the crime rate in 2019. According to a survey conducted by Gallup, about 64% of Americans believe that there was more crime in the U.S. than there was a year ago. It's a belief we've constantly held for decades now. But as you can see in the chart below, we've been just as consistently very wrong. Crime rates do fluctuate from year to year. In 2020, for example, murder has been up, but other crimes are in decline, so that the crime rate overall is down. And that trend line for violent crime over the last 30 years has been down, not up. The Bureau of Justice Statistics found that the rate of violent crimes per 1,000 Americans aged 12 and older plummeted from 80 in 1993 to 23 in 2018. The country has gotten much, much safer, but somehow Americans don't feel that on a knee-jerk emotional level. And for the record, when we talk about like the incarceration rate going up or something like that, and that's the reason, or, police funding going up, and that's the reason why crime is going down. If that's your attitude, okay, if that's your fucking attitude, if that's what you genuinely believe, then why does this phenomena not occur anywhere else where police are nowhere near as funded, where crime is not as big as a problem as it is in the United States of America? How come crime has steadily declined at the global level? Okay, at the global level. What's up with that? What's going on? The best factor to look at crime rates and poor health rates is inequality. Yeah. White House is live, Hasan. What are they talking about? All right, we'll watch it. Anyway, let me scan through this real quick to make sure that there isn't any like TOS in here. There might be. Oh, they don't show it. Okay, they don't show the shooting. Okay. Here. And then we'll watch Old Man Biden live. Brandon.
You mentioned the number of injured has increased throughout the day. Right now, the current count was about 29 people that were injured. We're outside NYU Langone in Brooklyn, where there are still about 11 patients inside. Their injuries range from everything.
Obviously, because America has so many more square miles than Belgium. Yeah, that's why our people are actually proportionally larger. That's why even if you look at the rate, even if you look at rates, America still is, is still getting defeated in the marketplace of ideas. Like the per capita argument doesn't stand unless you factor in America being just large.
This is going
You
by
know,
so
because
fast.
like one American is much larger than one Belgian person.
From gunshots to smoke inhalation. As you remember, this happened more than 6 hours ago now, around 8:30 during the height of rush hour, and a smoke device was let off in the subway car, and the gunman started shooting.
Oh, he's
They
talking about lowering
traveled
energy
for one
costs. I don't
full-
care about that. He's talking about like
Please get the
ethanol,
budget
right?
We deserve.
Like that's the fucking, that's totally unrelated to, irrelevant to the
subway ride where they were finally able to escape, and we've heard reports of people running to their rescue with tourniquets and helping the wounded. Right now, we do know that some of the subways are still have suspended their service in the area. The good news, though, is some of the schools have started to dismiss students. They have been in lockdown for most of the day. We have started to see some parents come and get their children and bring them home right now, but this is still a very active situation. The manhunt is underway. We know that the suspect is about 5'5", a black male, overweight. He was wearing a gas mask and a green vest on that subway when he started this attack this morning. We also know that Mayor Eric Adams told our local
Like, people say more cops will solve this issue, but like there are 1,000 new cops in the last couple of months that Eric Adams placed in the subway system. Like 1,000 new cops were placed within the subway system. Okay? So what the fuck happened? That didn't stop. More cops quite literally and directly did not stop this crime from occurring.
WCBS affiliate here in New York that the security cameras on board that subway station were not working. And so that is something that we have been waiting all day for, to have some sort of picture of this suspect who has been on the run now for more than 6 hours.
Yay, but not near enough the critical number, which is 1 cop or 2 people. That's the sweet spot. We just need everyone to be a cop, I think. Like, what we need to do is basically, policify the entire nation. What we must do is make everyone a cop. Every man a cop. Only then. We have to deputize everyone. Specifically, every human that is like, that has the appropriate ideology, the mental fortitude, the gumption to be a police officer, a boy in the blue. And what I mean by that is, Republicans, obviously. And only then will we be able to save. It was close to me. I heard the helicopters when I was half asleep this morning. That being said, no one dies, so not a big deal in my opinion. This shit happens all the time in America. No one will remember this in like a few hours when Gilbert Gottfried's death takes over the news cycle. No, I doubt it.
4 months of brain rot hassle.
Shooter was short and fat. Must have been a psyop to, again, increase the amount of police force once again. I mean, I don't think it's a psyop. I think we'll find out what happened eventually. It's a real sussy situation, though, overall. It is definitely sus as fuck. I mean, it's weird. It's a weird fucking... It's certainly a weird news story. But once again, it's a developing story, which is why I haven't talked about it too much. But what I will give you is the actual facts on law enforcement and what America, or what specifically New York has done thus far in an effort to, wait, is there TOS on this? In an effort to, I guess, combat crime in the subway stations, okay? Or how the New York Times is using this as an opportunity to engage in pro-cop agitprop. So, yeah. Okay, this one has no TOS, surprisingly, so let's take a look.
This is an ABC News special report. Now reporting, David Muir. Good afternoon. We're coming on the air with breaking news here in New York City shortly after noon here in the East after a subway shooting during rush hour. More than a dozen people injured, rushed to the hospital. All of this playing out in Brooklyn. The suspect did get away. ABC News has learned that the NYPD has informed the feds that police have sent out a description of the suspect and that investigators so far are assessing this as a coordinated attack. The motive remains unclear. They did not address whether there could be accomplices or what kind of coordination they're in fact talking about. Of course, all of this still very early. Again, several injured rushed to the hospital. The extent of their injuries unknown. On a subway here in New York, you can see they are gathered here, the NYPD, expecting to hear from them now. Let's listen to the commissioner.
Thank you, John. So from the very minute this incident occurred, the mayor and I have been on the phone monitoring the situation constantly. We have worked with all of our agencies, the FDNY, NYPD, OEM, all of the agencies who have worked really hard together, and we continue to throw all of the city's resources at this situation. We've made all of the resources available, and we'll work with the Office of Emergency Management for any additional needs. I'm going to ask the police commissioner, Keyshawn Sewell, to speak to you and give you an update on the events of today. Thank you.
Good afternoon. We're here to update New Yorkers about an active shooting incident that took place this morning inside the 36th Street subway station on the N line. I want to begin by assuring the public that there are currently no known explosive devices on our subway trains, and this is not being investigated as an act of terrorism at this time. We can also report that although this was a violent incident, reportedly we have no one with life-threatening injuries as a result of this case. This investigation is...
It's cool that, like, I guess Americans are just like, at this point, you know, mass shootings happen very frequently. I mean, they happen so much that, like, hey, guess what? You know, nobody died, so, who cares? You know, GG's. Oh, you got a bullet lodged in your leg? Fuck it. You know what I mean? That's unironically our take at this position, at this point in time, which is like, yeah, pretty cool. Nobody died, so we're good, you know? Let's figure it out. Let's keep it going. This was my fave from this moment, not classic terrorism. The two genders. One with no public information about an at-large subject. Let's put it out there that it's not terrorism and not explain why we think so. Two, we can't make any conclusions about motive and intent until the suspect is in custody and has a searching mental evaluation. Yeah, that's probably why, because they originally thought the shooter was like white or something, but I don't think he is, right? Is this legacy terrorism? I don't think the shooter is white, because I've heard conservatives yell about the fucking race of the shooter immediately. So that's how you know. He'd be a terrorist if he was white? No, they wouldn't say he's a terrorist. They'd say he's a sad man who was having a bad day. They literally would, like, I mean, they don't even care when people do die. Nobody talks about the Vegas shooting anymore and how we still don't know why / how the shooting happened. Yeah, Stephen Paddock. What happened there? Perhaps we will never know. What happened with his brother, who, you know, on all accounts was like, Stephen Paddock, this seems a little strange what happened here. That was crazy. What happened to Stephen Paddock's brother after he came out and was talking about how, like, Stephen Paddock, he was arrested in a child pornography probe. Weird. Crazy. Or remember that guy who fucking blew himself up in Nashville? What happened to that guy? What was that? What was that about? Why did he fucking blow himself up outside of like a AT&T building? No, I know he blew himself up and died in the explosion, but what was the deal? What was the point? Why did he do that? Whatever happened to that that terrorism training school in like New Mexico? You guys remember that? Was it New Mexico? No, not the base. No, it's not coming up when I look it up like that. You are making your FOIA request 100 pages longer? No, I'm just talking about like, was it, no, I'm not talking about, there was like a fucking, there was literally like a, there was straight up a fucking place where they were like training kids to do terror potentially. And what I'm talking about is like, no, they were like Muslims too. Like a compound. I can't remember now where it was. Stop saying Boy Scouts. Yeah, it was New Mexico, right? Man at New Mexico compound trained kids for school shooting. Prosecutor says, wait, what? No, not this. No. Was it this? No, I'm talking about. Oh, it is this, yeah. Siraj Ibn Wahaj was conducting weapons training with assault rifles at the compound near the Colorado border where 11 hungry children were found in filthy conditions. Prosecutor Timothy Hasan filed the documents while asking Wahaj to be held without bail. He was arrested last week for other adults facing child abuse. What happened to that? Authorities say the remains of a boy were found at the compound, but they have not positively identified it by medical examiners. The child, Abdul Ghani Wahaj, went missing in December in Jonesboro, GA, near Atlanta. Authorities said the father had told the boy's mother that he wanted to perform an exorcism on the child. He later said he was taking the child to a park and didn't return. There's that. There is the case of the two Pakistani dudes that were literally operating within the ranks of... they were operating within the ranks of like the American police force. That there's an active investigation currently occurring right now that I have been meaning to cover and I have not been able to cover yet, where two dudes, one of them is a Pakistani if I'm not mistaken, literally fucking they worked with law enforcement and also worked alongside the Secret Service. Was the Nashville bombing guy a massive conspiracy theorist? Yeah, he was. I mean, who do you think the FBI activates or pushes in directions like that when they want to, investigate a terror plot and foil it? Yeah, they go after fucking psychotic conspiracy theorist motherfuckers like the same dude, the same dudes that were now found not guilty of the Gretchen Whitmer kidnapping plot. Yeah, what happened there? And by activates, I don't mean like MK Ultra style. I mean like we break our brains enough already. Like the FBI does not need to further break people's brains, okay? They don't need to do any of that. We've already set the material conditions that is perfect for that is perfect for fucking weirdos to get their hands on guns and weapons and Tenorite and all it takes is someone to push them over the edge. Wait, what? The New Mexico terror trial in limbo after years of compound raid. A second defendant is invoking the right to a speedy trial in the 2018 raid on a squalid family compound in northern New Mexico that uncovered the remains of a 3-year-old boy and led to the charges of kidnapping, firearm, and terrorism charges. Defense attorneys. Subnaha Wahaj, one of the 5 defendants incarcerated since the raid, denies the charges against her, and this week notified federal prosecutors that a judge in the U.S. District Court of Albuquerque of her right to a trial within a reasonable amount of time after arrest. We filed the speedy trial notice because it's nearly been 4 years, and based on evidence in the case, we don't think our client belongs in jail anymore. Wahaj was arrested in August 2019 along with her husband and 3 other adults from an extended family in a law enforcement raid at a ramshackle encampment. There were a sickly 3-year-old who had been reported missing by his mother in Georgia. Sheriff's deputies and state agents finally found 11 hungry children and a small arsenal of ammunition and guns. After days of searching, they recovered the decomposed remains of a 3-year-old in an underground tunnel. Trial preparations have been largely suspended as the court addresses mental health concerns about 4 defendants. A new court filing indicates 3 defendants have been found mentally competent to stand trial. Subhana Wahaj, sister Hujra Wahaj, and Haitian national Jenny Leville. Evaluation of possible treatment is pending for Lucas Morton, the husband of Subhana. Subhana, the mother of 4 children detained in 2018 in the raid, was pregnant when arrested and gave birth to a child while incarcerated. Authorities have said the deceased child, Abdul Ghani Wahaj, suffered from untreated disabilities as father Siraj Ibn Wahaj and his partner Level performed daily prayers and rituals over him even as he cried and foamed out of the mouth. Forensic specialists determined the child died several months prior to the recovery of his body. A grand jury indictment alleges Level and her partner instructed people at the compound to be prepared to engage in jihad and die as martyrs, and that one more relative was invited to bring money and firearms. All 5 defendants are charged with conspiracy to commit an offense against the United States and providing material support to each other as a potential terrorist by crossing state lines with firearms and training at the New Mexico compound. The defendants have all denied all charges. Defense attorneys have said their clients would not be facing terrorism-related charges if they were not Muslim. Siraj Ibn Wahaj has also protested trial delays. To be fair, this part is true because this is literally what white supremacist groups do regularly, and none of them get charged with terrorism. So... even though they should be, and this is understandably what you would theoretically consider to be terrorism. I mean, we know what Kyle Rittenhouse did. 0. Residents of New Mexico compound, they pled guilty in 2019. Yeah. Shit like this happens so regularly. It was a gun deal gone wrong, by the way, conducted by the U.S. and Saudi intelligence services. By the way, Paddock was linked to the defense contracting industry north of Grumman, sex tourists. All signs point to him being a U.S. asset, not to mention the obvious cover-up by the hotel / reports of mass shootings at other spots in the same night. What? I don't know about other spots in the same night. What? Child abuse charges were dropped against the New Mexico compound suspects. No shot. Anyway, let's get back to the shooting.
Mary.
But, you know, it's not classic terrorism.
Only hours old, so please note this information is subject to change. Just before 8:24 this morning, as a Manhattan-bound N train waited to enter the 36th Street station, an individual on that train donned what appeared to be a gas mask. He then took a canister out of his bag and opened it. The train at that time began to fill with smoke. He then opened fire, striking multiple people on the subway and in the platform. Again, we will describe him as an individual. He is being reported as a male black, approximately 5 feet 5 inches tall with a heavy build. He was wearing a green construction type vest and a hooded sweatshirt. The color is gray. At this time, we are working with our federal partners, where we are asking for the public's help. Anyone with information, videos, or photographs, no matter how insignificant they think that may be, is encouraged to call Crime Stoppers at 800-577-TIPS. All calls are strictly confidential. I'd like to turn it over to the FDNY to give information about the victims. Oh, I'm sorry. I apologize. The governor would like to speak now. Governor Hope, my apologies.
That's right. Good afternoon. This morning, ordinary New Yorkers woke up in anticipation of a relatively normal day. They left their homes en route to school, en route to their jobs, and to a normal day, as I mentioned. That sense of tranquility and normalness was disrupted, brutally disrupted, by an individual so cold-hearted and depraved of heart that they had no caring about the individuals that they assaulted.
Yeah, the lieutenant governor got arrested for bribery today, by the way, of New York. But that's a separate. That's just New York shit, you know. Be like that sometimes. Yeah. The New York Lieutenant Governor Brian Benjamin is arrested in a campaign finance scheme earlier this morning as well.
As they simply went about their daily lives. This individual is still on the loose. This person is dangerous. They're asking individuals to be very vigilant and alert. You'll get more reports on specificity as the day goes on. So this is an active shooter situation right now in the city of New York. I just got off the phone with the mayor. He's recovering well. He is monitoring. He's actively engaged in the situation. I wanted to let him know that the people of the entire state of New York stand with the people of this city, this community, and we say no more. No more mass shootings. No more disrupting lives. No more.
I mean, who the fuck was saying yes, more mass shootings? Like, a brave take from the governor, Kathy Hochul. She's right. She's right on this
creating
one.
Heartbreak for people just
Knock it off,
trying to
she
live
says.
their lives as normal New Yorkers. It has to.
Wait, what is the mayor recovering from? COVID. He has COVID. Yes.
And it ends now. And we are sick and tired of reading headlines about crime, whether they're mass shootings or the loss of a teenage girl or a 13-year-old. It has to stop. I'm committing the full resources of our state to fight this surge of crime, this insanity that is seizing our city because we want to get back to normal. And it's been a long, hard 2 years. That's what we crave, that sense of stability and normalcy. And this is what the mayor and I are going to continue to work toward. And I thank the partners, the brave people of the MTA, the first ones who had the sense, the drivers of the train, to leave the station to make sure no more victims could be hurt. The NYPD.
Actually, what am I saying? You're right. Literally, the NRA and head conservatives are for more shootings. That's true. I apologize. I want to rescind a statement that I made earlier erroneously. It was a claim that was actually incorrect. I said, what American is actually asking for more mass shootings? I forgot that the other party involved in this quite literally does advocate for more mass shootings, like regularly. Let us not forget the famous Florida program in the aftermath of the Parkland shooting. The only, some would say, legislative action in Florida was to arm teachers. That was the way to stop mass shootings. So yeah, you're right. There are definitely people who are advocates for more mass shootings.
FDNY, state police, everyone involved in this has one purpose, and that's to stop the insanity of these crimes. You'll hear now from our fire department. I want to thank them for being there to help us diffuse a volatile situation, but we'll be giving continued reports as this day unfolds. Again, we ask everyone to be careful, be cautious, report what you see. It is likely that someone out there listening to this is going to help us lead us to that individual. You have a description of what they're wearing. You know the details. But this is the day we pull together as New Yorkers, united in a common purpose to say no more. And that is what I'm going to continue to do as the governor of the state of New York, working with our local partners right here. Thank you.
Thank you, Governor. Good afternoon. This morning, the FDNY received reports of gunshot victims in the subway. Thanks to their quick response.
Wait. Eric Adams went to a super spreader event maskless, then went to a maskless event honoring people with disabilities. He's now tested positive for COVID. This man is the mayor. I can only shake my head. That is respect. I have nothing else to say. My man is, oh my God, he is super spreading, dude. He is, what the fuck, dude? Eric Adams is the king of content. He really is, though. He really fucking is, dude. He is he's content mayor. Content mayor.
Response, we were able to treat 16 patients. 10 of those patients are suffering from gunshot wounds at this time, and 5 of them are in critical but stable.
That footage doesn't have any blood on it, but.
Can you say that again? Yes, we have 16 total patients. 10 of them are suffering from gunshot wounds, and 5 of them are in critical but stable condition at this time. And I'm going to pass it over to the MTA for an update on our subways.
Okay. First of all, we have to thank the NYPD and the FDNY and the whole team who've done so much to protect us and help immediately to recover from this situation. And I also need to acknowledge the MTA workers who had the foresight to immediately move a train that was on the platform, the R train, out of the station so it could carry people to safety. That was smart thinking. Right now, B service is suspended, W service is suspended. The D and the N and the R are running with suspensions and some shuttle buses. And folks should check the website for latest. Obviously, it's a disrupted day, but a lot of the system is in fact running. I just want to say one thing on a personal note, which is on 9/11, I stood on 4th Avenue and watched people, New Yorkers, come back from that tragedy. And I watched New Yorkers help each other and storekeepers walk out and give people water. That was the same thing we saw on the platform today. We saw New Yorkers in a difficult situation, an emergency, helping each other. That's the subway riders. That's who New Yorkers are. Every day they're showing people in the subway, which is our public space, that New Yorkers of all varieties can come together in small spaces and get along and create something bigger. That's what we remember in these emergencies, as well as the tragedy and the thought for the quick recovery of the victims, is New Yorkers are incredibly resilient, just as they are in every emergency, and we thank them for what they've done, and we thank the governor and the mayor for their leadership in all of our recovery from COVID and from every one of these challenges.
Cops are literally guys showing up with guns and asking everyone what the fuck happened. They don't protect anyone. Well, they were also there while this was happening, for the record. So it's not just like they showed up afterwards and were like, what's going on? What's happening here, guys? They were also there during this as well. But, you know, good guy with a gun, not exactly. I mean, this also seems like one of those cases where it is unique. So, you know, there are obvious things that we can do to like try to prevent more mass shootings from happening that, you know, we don't even talk about anymore. Like, you know, gun laws. It's just, we're just going to keep, you know, I don't know. We're just not going to do any of that. No, the shooter did not get caught.
So, just to reiterate, we're going to be very limited in what we are able to answer in questions. Just to also underline our partners here, you got Mike Regan. Mike Regan is the Assistant Special Agent in charge of the Joint Terrorism Task Force with the FBI and NYPD. John DeVito from ATF, who's helping us with tracing efforts and investigation. He's the Special Agent in charge for New York City. We have the Brooklyn District Attorney, Eric Gonzalez, who is also here. And, of course, Chief Ken Corey, Chief of Department, and First Deputy Commissioner Ed Caban. We'll start off with questions for the police.
Was the shooting on the train? Was the shooting on the train or on the platform? Was the suspect on the platform or in the train? And was it? Did it?
I have a question. What the fuck are guys with guns gonna do to stop an active shooter on a packed subway train? Help with more bullets? No, I that's why I said this is a unique circumstance anyway. Because like. it's just wild that the cameras aren't working. Like that's the worst part about this, is that these motherfuckers have like 24/7 surveillance on everything and anything. And they use that surveillance to like catch people after the fact, like when they hop the fucking turnstile or whatever without paying. Okay, like the fare avoiders. But then the moment that there's like actual fucking crime occurring, they're like, oops, cameras didn't work. The fuck is that? And I don't even think that's sussy, dude. Like Jeffrey Epstein camera's not working. That's sussy. Camera's not working at the subway station. Not exactly sussy. Why? Because it's all in a state of disrepair. Like, cameras don't not work. The footage gets deleted. I don't know about that. Motherfucker, have you taken an N line to BK? Nothing on that line works. I'm just saying, I feel like I think that it's weird, but also I feel like it's not that fucking weird considering the rest of the infrastructure is in a state of disrepair. A rat shoot a hole in the wire in 1999. What type of weapon did the person use? A Glock, from what I understand.
All happened in the 36th Street station, or what happened down at 25th Street?
The suspect was in the train car. The shooting began in the train car.
Commissioner, can you give us some more detail? Exactly what happened in the car? Did the suspect say anything? What type of weapon did he have? And what was going on inside the car as this all happened?
So, as I stated before...
Please read regarding New Yorkers just being built different. Yeah, New Yorkers are not still heading to work because we are built different. We're still heading to work because the cost of living here is so expensive that we cannot afford to miss days, including when a mass shooting happens at our transit services. I mean, it's true. Cameraman filming the dogs. Okay, that's not a bad decision. Okay, the dogs are very cute.
Limited information because it's under investigation. As the train was pulling into the station, the subject put on a gas mask. He then opened a canister that was in his bag, and then the car filled with smoke. After that, he began shooting.
Guys, one time.
Hang on.
Commissioner, does this appear to be random? Any idea why this individual did this? And
we do not know the motive at this time, but we're not ruling anything out.
What are the other injuries that were not?
Uh-oh.
There are a variety of other injuries, from smoke inhalation to shrapnel to panic from the incident.
When you say shrapnel, what would the shrapnel come from?
It could be from anything. It's still under investigation at this time, so it could be a grazing from a bullet. It could be from the panic after following the incident.
Not from an explosive device?
Not at this time.
What are your predictions on the shooter being a Russian? Well, he's a 5'5" black dude, so 0% that the shooter was Russian, I think. It's like the least Russian man on the planet, ethnically speaking and racially speaking, I think. He was like a fat 5'5" black man. That's the... No, black man can't be Russian. That's just racist. I mean, I'm not saying that there aren't, but it's like a Turkish person being like a black Turkish person is just like incredibly unlikely, you know?
Any idea of the suspect where they the train tracks? Any idea of the whereabouts immediately?
That's subject to investigation. We're endeavoring to determine that.
I haven't seen this video before.
Why were this train tracks?
Why do you connect this more to the litany of gun violence and not terrorism at this age? Why rule out terrorism?
I'm not ruling out anything. We're determining what that motive is, and we'll find that out as the investigation continues.
Or they're literally like leaving. It's crazy. You see on the side, you see like gas coming in from the other cart, and someone is filming it. Okay, look at this. Look.
Not at this time.
Look. No, it's like, it's actually, I mean, this is incredibly New York. Look at these motherfuckers. They're just like, oh, what's happening? What? All right, I guess we should just leave. Okay, we'll walk out. They're like, wait a minute. Like the dudes that do dances on the on the carts, like I didn't realize they also were on the fucking 10:30 train. You know what I mean? Yeah, they're like, is this showtime? What's happening? Dude, do you know how hard it is to get a good seat during rush hour? I'm not giving that shit up easily. (10:30) train, as if MTA trains run on schedule. Okay, shut up. I don't know.
Through investigation as we speak.
Do you suspect this is an MTA worker, given that they were wearing a construction vest? Or
We have not
another city worker or something?
We have not identified the subject. He was wearing a green type construction
Governor
vest.
Hochul, do you want to comment on the arrest of your Lieutenant Governor Brian Benjamin? Did he speak to you this morning? Were you aware, and will you continue to campaign with him?
I'll be happy to report on that later today. We'll have a statement out there. I've not had a chance to speak to him. I was doing media interviews this morning, but this is not the place, but I will be addressing it very shortly. Let's focus on the fact that there are people in a hospital right now fighting for their lives. Those are the people we're thinking about and praying for at this moment.
All right, thank you very much. Listen, we're going to get... Hang on a second.
Hi, everyone. George.
All right. Hold on one second.
Dad texted me today to ask that I thank you for cucking my mom every night. Apparently it's really helping their marriage. But my brother also texted
We're joined
me
now by
saying someone
Yav
is yelling
Montano.
homo
He
from
was
the parents'
on the
bedroom every
train
night around the top
as
of the
this
hour.
shooting took place. Yav, if you can hear me, I want...
It's not secret memes. I have a friend who is getting me artist passes, and that's it. That's the reason he was calling. Okay. Is there TOS in this? I need to find out. Hold on real quick. Let's... Warning graphic images. Congress home, has AOC been accounted for? Yes.
Has mods.
Hold on. It's like one image on the side, and it's just like there's like a little bit of blood on the bottom, but I mean, I think it's fine.
Thanks
AOC ain't riding the N train.
Streams. The left is lucky to have someone like you. Marx would be proud. Hassle.
There's like blood, but there's like a little bit of a blood. There's like a little bit of a strain of like a... I think it's fine. I don't know. If it's not fine, then we can't even watch the whole fucking thing. You know what I mean? Oh, let me just... I gotta get the door. I'll be back in 1 second.
We're joined now by Yav Montano. He was on the train as this.
Like here, there's like a little bit of blood right there, like right where I'm covering it. Okay, here, there you go.
We're joined now by Yav Montano. He was on the train as this shooting took place. Yav, if you can hear me, I want you to tell us what you saw.
Hi, good morning. So it was crazy to me. So I take the N train every morning to get to where I have to work, and everything seemed pretty normal. So from 59th Street to 36th Street, because the N train is express, between those two stops is where all the dramatics happened. And I'm in the third part of the N express train, and it happened like the smoke grenade or bomb went off.
Thank you for
I would say about 2 minutes before we got to the 36th Street platform. And there was train delays because the conductor said that there was train traffic ahead. So the train was inching towards the 36th Street platform while this was happening. It seems like it was planned because it's at least 4 minutes between each stop. So for this smoke bomb and what I thought was fireworks, but I'm now reading and hearing that it was gunshots, and I'm thankful that I hid behind one of the chairs. But yeah, I honestly have no words for what I've experienced.
Yeah, I can't even imagine what that experience must have been like for you, Yav. So just to clarify, were you in the actual car where the shooting took place, or were you in a separate car and still were witness and saw the smoke?
I was in the car.
They found the U-Haul?
I was in the front end of the third car.
No, Maya's not here. Hold on.
Everything happened at the back end of the same car. Jesus. So what happened was, as soon as the smoke flared up, it started to engulf everything. People started migrating to the front of the cart. And at the front of the cart, I don't know if people know this, but it was one of those old trains where they locked the doors to travel in between carts. So there was one gentleman on the train using all his strength to try to open that door, and he ended up opening it, but the other door to get into the other cart was locked. And there were people in that other cart that saw what was happening, and they tried to open the door, but they couldn't. So we were stuck in the cart. And I mean, I don't know if this is too vulgar for TV, but there was blood on the floor. There was a lot of blood trailing on the floor. And at the time, in the moment, I did not think that it was a shooting because it sounded like fireworks. All I saw were people trampling each other, trampling over each other, trying to get through to the door, which was locked, and there was just a lot of panic. But thankfully, the train moved pretty quickly to the next stop, and everyone filed off the train in a rush.
Yav, we are so glad you're safe to be this close to that. I wonder, in the midst of the chaos, the smoke, the fear, did you see the gunman?
I didn't see anything. All I saw was smoke. And I saw smoke, and I saw people running away and screaming towards me. So I just moved around and sat behind the wooden plank on the side of the chair by the doors, the entry doors of the train cart, and I just stayed there. I was even scared to take a video. There was a gentleman next to me that said to put my phone away just because you never know what craziness can happen. The whole cart was engulfed in smoke. Like, I had a mask.
Bro, how the fuck? If this dude gets away with it, I'm gonna lose my fucking mind, okay? Like, how, dude? It's like the most public, most crowded fucking area. God damn, dude. Also, tons of cameras around the place. No, none of them worked. No, none of them inside worked.
Let's go. We can drink
I
now
didn't
and
even
chat
use my mask anymore
Hasan.
because it was black with smoke. It was ridiculous.
My goodness, yeah.
I mean, there's hella cameras like probably pointed at exits and shit. So he's the main character, Doug. There's no way they'll catch him so early in the story. That's right, but he popped smoke, so the witnesses couldn't guarantee an ID. Apparently, a cop there didn't have a working radio to call 911. What?
I'm so sorry that you have to experience this, and I'm thankful that you're okay right now. I know that in crises and situations like
at least they found the U-Haul in the van. The U-Haul van sought in connection to the Brooklyn subway shooting. At least if he gets away with it, they won't be able to use it as a justification for needing cop. Wait, what? You think that's going to work? Cops don't solve crimes anyway, and people still say we need more cops, as though they are like stopping crime, let alone solving it after crime has happened. So no, they're going to say that regardless, my friend. That's never going to change. That's an unchanging fact. What? In what world do you think people are going to be like, oh, wow, the incompetent police force flubbed this once again, couldn't find a single goddamn fucking guy that opened up on the fucking N train in Brooklyn. If cops solve this case, then they're going to be like, look at our brave boys in the blue solving cases like they always do. Okay, once again, you know, our brave boys in the blue have done it again. They solve all the crimes and they prevent it from happening. If they don't solve it, then it doesn't matter because they haven't been solving anyway. So they're still going to turn around and be like, well, it was because we were defunded. We need more money and guns. Cops can't fail. Public can only fail to sufficiently support/fund them. Yes, exactly. Exactly. Just like the top of the hour ad break can't actually be served to every single person. There's only a sufficient amount of subscribers that actually end up seeing the top of the hour ad break at the top of every hour and don't actually subscribe to avoid seeing said hour, top of the hour ad breaks. That's right. It's a sufficient lack of subscribers that end up seeing the ads. Spider-Man slagging. Tom Holland is a fraud. Couldn't protect us from Gas Man again. That one was legit awful. Okay, shut the fuck up, bitch. Here's the 1 minute ad break now. Get fucked.
Because it's very difficult to get a sense of timing. But how long, at your best estimate, did you then have to wait for that subway car to stop and open and get out?
I would say because if we were moving between 59th Street and 36th Street, so the stop before, the local stop before 36th Street, I don't know which number.
Sub to me to see tomorrow's tragedy, Pepela. Yeah, dude. That's why. Subscribe to me because you know I'm gonna do that. Dude, stop. You don't give a shit. Don't project. Don't project. Don't do it. Don't project. Just because you personally don't give a shit about what's going on the planet, and the only way that you can fucking, you know, the only way that you can ever look at the news is by like personally coming in here and shitting up the place, does not change the reality that like there are plenty of people that want to, okay, and care.
It was, but I remember we were between 36th Street on the express line, between 36th Street and the local stop after that. So we were literally about to approach into the station while all of this was happening. But there was a delay. The conductor said that there was a delay because there was train traffic ahead of us, and during that delay was when the chaos was happening. So we were stuck in the train right about to get to reach to the stop. And then, thank goodness, the train moved within a minute. Or I don't know what could have happened if we were stuck there for longer.
So we understand we have some video you were able to shoot. We're going to play that now. And here it is.
Oh, my goodness.
Now, Yav, we're seeing people there covering their mouths, smoke in the car. As the car is moving, how soon after the shooting was this?
This video took place after all of the popping and shooting, and the train, like, I remember I said the train was delayed between 36th Street and the local stop. This is when the train started moving to approach the station.
2 months vibes.
So, and the thing is, I don't think there was anybody who was focused on recording what was happening. Because while I was crouched down behind the wooden part by the door, there was a gentleman also next to me who said to put my phone away, just in case some craziness happened. That's why the video is only 10 seconds long.
What the fuck? What do you mean? That's when you're supposed to keep filming. Like, what? That's what the fuck? Why did you get that guy say that?
I just wanted to get a video of the chaos that was happening in there. And the gentleman next to me said, put your phone away because you don't know what could happen. So I put my phone away and I just focused on trying to get out as safely as I could.
It really is something to hear you tell now 2 stories of passengers trying to help each other, whether it's the woman who gave you pepper spray.
I guess maybe because it's like you can get targeted or something. Like the shooter can kill you, like target you and shoot you.
Or the man sitting next to you telling you to put the phone away because he was frightened that it would be too dangerous. We see people covering their mouths and eyes from the smoke. I'm just curious, did it have any impact on you? Did it hurt your eyes? Was there any coughing? Or was it just, give us some more information on that.
Well, I'm asthmatic, so this was not an ideal situation for me. There was a lot of coughing and breathing. The same gentleman that was next to me, he was telling people to take slow breaths to try to calm them down. There's some people in our close area that were listening.
Make a call and there's a bomb, the cell waves can detonate it. What? No, we're talking about filming anyway, dude.
But more or less, there was people just panicking, focusing on getting out, trying to push themselves out. But like I said earlier, my mask was black with smoke, both sides. It was like, I can't even, it's trash. The mask is trash. It can't use it anymore. That's how thick the smoke was. Couldn't see anything. Eyes were burning. It was terrible.
Yeah. Well, there's a reason this attacker, it seemed, used the smoke. Distract, strike fear, perhaps obscure him or being able to see him by the witnesses or any first responders. Yav, I do have to ask you, where are you now? We're glad you're safe. You came close to something horrible here. Where are you now?
I'm actually at work in Williamsburg. So.
He's calling from work. Stop, dude. No, he's at work. Bro, what the fuck? Only in NA, baby. Only in North America. Only in America, baby. Hey, I'm at work, actually. I'm using my time off task bathroom break to deliver this information to you. I will be going back. Hopefully, they will not be taking this off of my paycheck.
I take the M train from Bensonhurst to Union Square, and I take the L train back from Manhattan to Brooklyn to get to Williamsburg. I do this on a regular basis, at least 3 or 4 times a week. So for this to happen on Tuesday, for this to happen on any day of the week is just ridiculous. This is scary to me.
Well, and you showed up to work right after. That's pretty incredible. That's New York, ladies and gentlemen. You see the scene out there right now, the police just outside.
Yeah, that's New York, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, I mean, it's just, you're fucked. That's why he's at work. That's not good. That's not a good thing. That's not a positive, dude. The fuck is wrong with these guys? Bro, the funniest thing is, like, me, a normal human being, right? People say, like, oh, you're out of touch, you're out of touch. Me, a normal human being, here's a guy saying, I'm at work. I'm like, are you fucking serious? What the fuck? an actually out of touch, you know, multimillionaire CNN anchor is like, wow, brilliant, incredible. Thank you for, you know, doing your wage slavery. Thank you for continuing your wage slavery after your near-death experience. It's like, what? That's your reaction? And then turning around and being like, this is how New Yorkers are. It's like, no, motherfucker. He's just like worried. He needs to make money. That's it. American work can be like, wake up 4 a.m., walk to the metro, survive mass shooting, get harassed by cop, arrive to work, get yelled at for being late.
Down to the 36th Street station there in Brooklyn, as we've been reporting throughout the hour. A shooting took place on that subway car. That video you're seeing there is where the shooting took place, shot by Yav Montano, who we've been interviewing there, an eyewitness to this.
Can you please live trade Bitcoin with 100x leverage on your stream today?
A shooting including the use of a smoke grenade or some smoke device. At least 5 shot, some 13 injured, suspects still at large. Yav Montano, we are glad you're safe. Thank you.
All right, Ukraine braces. All right, back to Ukraine coverage now. So a couple things have happened. First of all, Vladimir Putin made a statement earlier today. Breaking news also, Zelensky has been captured, Zelensky has announced that the Secret Services have captured Putin's best friend, Viktor Medvedchuk. He'd been on the run from his best friend. For a bit of context and before shot, see my 2018 interview with him. How Putin's best friend in Ukraine is staging an improbable. He is the godfather to Putin's children, is a highly controversial figure inside Ukraine. Poroshenko used to use him as a conduit to Putin. Zelensky blocked his media and put him under house arrest. Bestie. Wait, what? Is that a real Zelensky?
1 month's baby.
Okay, what the fuck? I didn't know that he had done a winky face react to the... My man did a Lin-Manuel Miranda lip bite. What the fuck, dude?
4 months. Peace and love, Hassel.
Mark Ames on the arrest. Head of Ukraine's largest opposition party arrested, handcuffed, humiliating photograph publicly shared by Ukraine's president. All sides point to a healthy democracy. So let me just explain something to you, okay? First of all, it's war, okay? And if you think that like they're not going to be fucking horrifically brutal, and then everyone in the Western media that is already geared up towards like anything, like motherfuckers banned Russian cats, homie. They banned Russian cats from competing in cat competitions. You think anyone in America is going to look at this with like, you think anyone's going to look at this in America and be like, wow, yeah, that is kind of crazy. I can't believe this is happening. And this happened pre-wartime too, for the record. Like, Pentagon invites top 8 U.S. arms makers to Wednesday meetings to discuss weapons for Ukraine, sources say. Get your money up. Plug walk. Okay. There's more info if you scroll down, by the way. People support the arrest of Russian-friendly Viktor Medvedchuk for treason. Do you support state treason charges against Poroshenko for his alleged ties to Russia? Make any excuses you like. Ukraine is, of course, the primary victim of this war. But it will take decades to recover whatever halting attempts at democracy the country was making. Zelensky wasn't joking when he said Ukraine was going to become like Israel. The demons are out. So, The United States is also announcing $750 million more dollars in military aid for Ukraine, adding on to the $2 billion. But regardless, you know, on the one hand, defense stocks go up. People are popping off. On the other hand, no matter what happens, Ukrainians are just fucking brutally being murdered. It seems that there's a little bit more of the circumstance with this guy, especially. He's a bit more than just an opposition party leader. No. What is going on in here is Russia doing what the Western world does to other countries on a regular basis. Okay? Yes, there is a profound amount of Russian media in Ukraine that actively worked in changing people's minds in the same way that, like, American media and Western media actively works in every country to change people's minds or have specific kinds of attitudes that correspond to American foreign policy. That's exactly what was going on here. Except it's only appropriate when America does it. It's, of course, completely inappropriate when Russia does it, which is precisely why even before this invasion, even before the Russian invasion, Zelensky famously shut down a lot of opposition parties that were declared pro-Russia, some of which actually were, some of which weren't. And on top of that, shut down Medvedchuk's broadcasting and other media companies as well. Even before the invasion, this was happening. It's not like this happened during the invasion. It happened during the invasion as well, but it was happening before the invasion too. Okay? So, and that's a bad thing because what kind of fucking dumb take is this? Like, some of the parties that were, some of the parties weren't even fucking pro-Russia and they were just banned. They were like leftist parties that were just banned because they were pro-Russia. Meanwhile, Svoboda is perfectly fine and in operation. Does that not strike you as, like, alarming for the future of Ukraine? What kind of fucking dumb reactionary take is that? The only parties not banned are literally the Nazi fucking adjacent parties. What kind of stupid shit is this? So, and during wartime, every country does this shit. America does it all the time as well. And that's precisely why, for example, Cuba has such authoritarian control over flow of information, because they're constantly waging war or constantly on the defense from the world's largest imperial power, United States of America. So, obviously, this is something that happens in war, but even before the war, this was occurring. Even before the invasion, this was occurring, and it will continue to occur. Okay? This, of course, is horrible for the future of Ukrainian democracy or any semblance of democracy that they might have ever had. Is fundamentally broken any sort of Ukrainian democratic movement or Ukrainian democratic Ukrainian goes towards democracy. Okay? The Ukrainian government's computer emergency response team said it was able to stop the hackers from carrying out their malicious intent. I know you're off the subway shooting, but did you happen to catch that New York LG resigned today due to the... Yes, we talked about it briefly. Now, this is a consequence of martial law, okay? What's happening here is a consequence of martial law. That's precisely why they're posting this. They're publishing this to show that, you know, this is what's going to happen to people who are pro-Russia, even if they are inside of Ukraine. Even if they are Ukrainian. He says the security service nabbed him in a special operation. He'd been on the run after breaking house arrest. Now, that in and of itself is a direct, like, point of confrontation to Russia in an effort to agitate. Here's what an aide to Medvedchuk told me 3 days after the Russian full-scale invasion. I just spoke to Victor Medvedchuk's aide, who tells me he has left the home where he was under house arrest and relocated to another home, but says he remains in Kyiv. If he wanted to leave Ukraine, he had many possibilities to do this before. Russian and Ukrainian media are reporting that Putin's closest pal in Ukraine, Viktor Medvedchuk, has escaped from house arrest in Kyiv. Aide of Putin pal Medvedchuk tells me they relocated the leader to pro-Russian opposition party for security reasons because there are threats from nationalist organizations. Isn't America officially taking in Ukrainian refugees? I was with a friend from Ukraine in the Social Security office today, and it seemed really complicated. Basically, can't get work authorization for a while. And here's the mugshot that they released of Medvedchuk. People assumed that he would be the person that Vladimir Putin, if successfully able to decapitate the current Ukrainian leadership, people were saying that he would be the guy who would then lead Ukraine as the Russian puppet, as the Russian puppet state ruler. And there it is. This and the release of this information and this happening right now is just to basically say, like, fuck you, Russia. Look what we're doing to your guy. Okay? That's it. You know, they can have a crumb of Schadenfreude, I guess, if they want to, but I mean, this is part of the other. Like, I don't know. I don't know why they're so confident that they're going to be able to purge all of the Russian invasion in its entirety. When Vladimir Putin is literally now running around saying, like, earlier today, he, hold on, where is it? Earlier today, Vladimir Putin came out with a statement. Hold on, I got to find it now. What the hell are you talking about? Medvedchuk wanted to surrender Ukraine as the Russian leadership wanted. What do you think would happen to him? Was the problem with democracy? Dude, I'm surprised he's even alive. Wait, what do you mean? Let's find where is it? The Financial Times guy had a fucking good thread on this. Hold on. I read it earlier today, but didn't fucking send it to myself, I guess. I forgot to. That's not good.
Hasan, I love you, but OFC they need it. It's for morale king.
It's for morale. I mean, dude, I don't think people understand that, like, this is going to be seen as, like, more aggression from the people who are, like, brutally fucking murdering random Ukrainian civilians. I think you retweeted it? No, I don't. No, I didn't retweet it. What's the Financial Times guy I watch? I follow. His name is Matt. Yeah, it's Max. You're right. It's Max, not Matt. Max Sedon or something, right? Yep, Max Sedon. Okay. Here it is. Here's the Moscow bureau chief, Max Sedon. The Russian official accounts are calling Bucha fake news, propagation, etc. are still on Twitter, but one of the only Russian journalists who have reported brilliantly from Ukraine has been blocked. Unsurprising. Why is Medvedchuk wearing Ukrainian army uniform? What was his plan? Was his plan to say he was on the side of good all along, like Professor Snape? Ukrainian intelligence services says his Ukrainian uniform was camouflage. Hold on. The most amazing thing that this shows, this guy also hosts Russia's equivalent of America's funniest home videos. Oh, here it is. So here's the thread. Putin's justification for the war in Ukraine. The main goal is to help people. We were forced to do it. We couldn't put up with it any longer. A clash was inevitable. It was just a matter of time. We didn't have a choice. This was the right thing to do. Now, his arguments are flailing. I mean, he's just throwing darts at a fucking board. It doesn't seem as organized as it originally was when he talked about why he was doing it. Denazification was of the utmost importance. Yada, yada, yada. All of that has gone away. I mean, the only thing, I guess the only thing that we need to see from Vladimir Putin, from Vladipoo, at this point, for this to be the perfect American fuck up, would be sitting in front of a goddamn, on a fucking air carrier, okay? Sitting in front of a mission accomplished banner. Holy shit, dude. He's gonna be like, mission accomplished. We did so great. We liberated Ukraine. Very good. Like,
666666607.
It's crazy. Now, Putin, but it doesn't matter. That part is bullshit, and it shows that, you know, the confidence in the integrity of the operation, the special operation that he was conducting, has kind of been cast aside a little bit. Not great.
The Group 5 Battalion.
Okay. However, it's important to understand where the fuck they're coming from. Putin comments on Ukraine's accusations of war crimes and other atrocities against civilians in towns Russia occupied. He goes on about Afghanistan and Syria for a bit, and then he says the claims are fake. And says, like the accusations that Assad used chemical weapons. Okay? He then dragged Lukashenko. This part is really funny. Dude, I love Lukashenko. I'm sorry. Don't get mad at me, guys. Like, not in like a positive way, but he's such a fucking cuck. It's hilarious, dude. He's like, he seems like he's constantly in a state of like sucking up to Vladimir Putin as hard as he fucking can because he's like worried that he's going to get super murdered if he doesn't do that. I mean, he literally says the funniest shit, dude. He is like Michael Pillow. He's like Michael Pillow Michael Pillow to Donald Trump. Okay, here.
Sorry for my juicer XQCL.
Putin dragged Lukashenko to a cosmodrome in far eastern Russia for this. I mean, remember, Lukashenko also famously is the guy who said, "What is COVID? All you need is vodka and sauna." So, just, that's the guy. He claims he has secret information about how mysterious Englishmen staged a provocation in Bucha. Not clear if he means the whole thing is fake or they murdered hundreds and pretended Russia did it. It sounds like Bucha was indeed detailed peace talks. Oh, Bucha has indeed derailed peace talks after promising signs in Istanbul 2 weeks ago. So this is the important part. Okay, we're going to get back to making fun of Lukashenko in a second. But this is actually the really important part of this. Vladimir Putin earlier today at this televised broadcast basically said, yeah, the peace negotiations are completely fucking, they're not working. They're done. And they are claiming that the conversations, wait, that person I write for Jacobin has blocked me. Why the fuck is that? What? Jewish Sean McCarthy, I write for Jacobin. Who the fuck is this guy? Lukashenko is annually outraged about cattle farm conditions. This cow doesn't deserve this concentration camp. This is a concentration camp. A cow should live in a palace. The cow is a sacred animal. As if I didn't know how to milk a cow. I've milked more cows than both of you combined. Oh my God, this is from different years. Oh, that's awesome. Okay, oh God, I love him more now. That's awesome. Okay. Okay, listen. Okay, one more funny Lukashenko thing is, even here, he goes, Peskov asked Lukashenko if he wants to go to space. He says, I would like to. I used to think my older brother, Putin, might send me there and not bring me back. Now, I don't think so anymore. He says, I have some people to send, so I'll have to think about it. Dude, come on, dude. That's such an awesome line, dude. He's so fucking... Oh, he's great, dude. More... He's awesome. He's so fucking stupid. Like, how are you gonna say that, brother? How? Like...
Скажите, пожалуйста, вы себя не хотели бы попробовать? Спасибо.
Хотел бы
Раньше думал, что старший брат может меня отправить туда и назад не вернуть. Сейчас уже я так не думаю, так что хотел бы. Но у меня есть лично кого отправить, поэтому я подумаю и над этим вопросом.
Скажите, пожалуйста.
It's awesome. Lukashenko meets American hero. Oh my God, no way. Damn, he used to be like in way better shape. Damn, he got fucking fat, bro. And I'm not talking about Steven. Steven is in tip-top shape regardless.
It's very good for health.
Это вот те арбузы. Кстати, у нас природа не позволяет их возделывать. Но мы попробовали. Готов, готов. Готов. Кушай на здоровье, это очень полезно.
It's very good for health.
Пошло тогда я дочищу тут. Готов, готов. Готов.
Absolutely goated politics, bro. I swear to God. Just fucking incredible. Steven Seagal is a man of few words, yeah. He is. He lets his fucking fist do the talking, bitch. That's why. Wait, a Zoomer in the chat said, "Who's the fat ninja?" You don't know who Asian hero Steven Seagal is? I almost said he was American, except he refers to himself as being from the continent of Asia. He was a cop too, actually, at a certain point. You don't know who fucking Steven Seagal is? What the fuck? An anti-imperialist hero. Wrong. You're wrong for this one, dude. You're wrong for this one, boys. To be honest, I only really know who Steven Seagal is because of Behind the Bastards podcast, Lamau. Legend. Okay, he is the legend, actually. He's the OG legend. No one does it like him. He's Native American, no? Wait, what? First of all, never believe anything that Steven Seagal has ever said about his background. Okay? I think at a certain point, he literally claimed that he was black, right? I think. Even. Didn't he sexually assault women, law? I mean, yes, probably. I don't even know, but I wouldn't be surprised if that is the case. That is the least surprising fact I've learned about Steven Seagal just now.
35 years. Shout out to Asia.
We got to do a deep dive into Steven Seagal's life at some point. I now realize that most people are completely oblivious to this legend.
Microbe.
Turkish scientists announced failure to attempt to launch a kebab into space. It fell into the ocean at 35 kilometers. Moving on from that. Oh shit. Let's. Whoa, what the fuck? Free scrolling on the timeline on accident. Okay, let's watch.
A new Russian offensive targeting the east as we learn more about the horrifying toll the war is taking on civilians. And President Zelensky warns that Russian forces could use chemical weapons. Foreign correspondent James Lawman is checking it all from Bucha. Good morning, James.
They said that they did already.
Good morning, George. We're at the gravesite here in Bucha where more bodies are being exhumed. There's now an international effort to try to figure out what went on here. French investigators have joined the Ukrainians in trying to piece together the truth of what Russians did while they're in this part of Ukraine. There is anger and sadness here, but also dread at what might come next in Russia's next.
Has Steven ever done something cool, or are you just memeing because he looks like mashed potatoes in a karate gi? No, he is insane.
Phase of its invasion.
This morning, as Russian forces mass in the east, concerns are growing for the desperate situation in Mariupol. Ukrainian officials have said that weeks of Russian attacks may have left tens of thousands.
No, the irony of calling him a fat ninja is like, it's so perfect because like a Zoomer who has no idea who the fuck Steven Seagal called him just a fat ninja when describing him, and that's the perfect way to describe him.
Thanks for keeping me sane, Hasan.
So, like, that's why I laugh, because I'm like, oh my God, that person doesn't know who Steven Seagal is, but it's like the most accurate way to describe someone like Steven Seagal.
Dead, but with the city almost completely cut off from the outside world, so much remains unclear. And that includes the threat of chemical weapons use still hanging over this country. The Ukrainian Ministry of Defense saying this morning they're investigating new claims in Mariupol after a social media report from a far-right paramilitary group. The mayor of the city has claimed Russian forces have brought in mobile crematoria to dispose of the bodies and accused Russian forces of refusing to allow access to humanitarian convoys in an attempt to disguise the carnage. These four friends were able to escape. While they were still there, they documented life under siege. With their homes destroyed, they were forced to cook what little food was available outside on an open flame, with shelling heard in the distance. Now arriving safely in Zaporizhia, Artem saying everything we had is gone. With a huge Russian military convoy heading for the east, attacks on Kharkiv have intensified too. Hundreds of small explosive devices were found scattered over a residential area there Monday. Ukrainian demining teams identified them as small timer-operated landmines. They carry up to 1.5 kilograms of liquid explosive. This model was banned by the 1997 Ottawa Treaty to reduce civilian casualties. Military experts say Russia plans to create an arc of occupation from Kharkiv in the north down to Mariupol in the south. This would create a land bridge with Crimea, which they annexed in 2014. The danger of Russian occupation becoming clearer every day in the towns now liberated from their control. Austrian Chancellor Karl Nehammer has become the first Western leader to meet Putin since his invasion began and confronted him over the atrocities in Bucha. He said talks were very direct, open and tough, but when he raised the possibility of in-person talks with Ukrainian President Zelensky, Putin gave no reply whatsoever. The battle ahead may result in even worse atrocities. This man, Alexander Dvornikov, is the general now in charge of Russia's invasion. He led Moscow's campaign in Syria, gaining infamy for indiscriminate attacks on civilian homes.
Now, Ukraine says more than 1,200 civilians have been found dead in this Kyiv region. That is in addition to the more than 4,000 Ukrainians who've been killed in this war so far. And all this before Russia starts the second phase of its invasion.
Well, hey there, GMA fans. Robin.
So, still don't understand what Putin's goal is other than destruction at this point? Oh, come on, dude. Like, I can't tell if you're baiting me into repeating it again and again, but it seems like you're asking in a good-natured way, so I'll describe it once again. The goal of Vladimir Putin in Ukraine is to at least have some degree of control over the foreign policy of Ukraine.
Had it from the beginning,
Okay.
my dude.
It's not about literally owning Ukraine in its entirety or having Ukraine be a part of Russia, but more so have Ukraine be kind of like Belarus at the best possible, in the most like, in the best way possible. That's what they want, best case scenario. Or worst case scenario, they want Ukraine to, at the very least, be controlled or have a say in what Ukraine does in its foreign policy and you know, NATO membership, even joining the EU. These are all things that he wants to have. These are all things that he wants to have a say in. Okay. Oil production, fiscal efficiency, and other shit too. Yes. So, I said Putin would want peace talks. No, Putin was doing peace talks. What do you mean? They were in Turkey, and they were actually relatively productive. Out of the 15 bullet points that they came across, like, it seemed like Zelensky was pushing off the no, that's not copium, you fucking weirdos. It's not copium at all. Russia made their demands. Ukraine actually conceded to a lot of those demands and even pushed the Crimea talking point 15 years into the future. And we're looking at efforts into how to get security assurances from European countries, which all said no to Ukraine, by the way. Productive for who? Productive for everyone that wants the war to end. I don't understand. You guys are being fucking ridiculous. Like, this war is only going to end in one way, okay? No matter what happens, even if Ukrainians purge every last fucking Russian from within its borders, or even if Russia just completely eviscerates the southeastern fucking crescent that they are creating all the way from the northern corridor to the southeastern territories, and eviscerates it, takes it over in its entirety, no matter which way you think the war is going to go, it's going to end with fucking a treaty and a negotiation. It's about who has leverage in this circumstance, though, okay? And Ukraine does have a decent amount of leverage, better in a better position overall than what we once thought would happen. Okay? They did a good job at pushing back the Russian forces. They did a good job with that. They were able to successfully do that. Okay? So much so that Russia was like, oh yeah, we didn't even want Kyiv, actually. That was just to, you know, spread your forces thin. Lol. We love fucking sending military, we love sending battalions and having them get eviscerated by fucking Turkish drones. That's our thing. That's my kink. You're kink shaming. Like, we love not being able to completely destroy your air support. No, Ukraine did a good job. And because of that, they have more leverage in the negotiation table. Okay? But now, the actual big boy war is about to start. Not to say that killing all those civilians was not big boy war. But I've talked about this time and time again. More than 50% of the Ukrainian forces are literally stationed here. Okay? Beyond this point. And I think that while they have retreated from other areas in the Western Front, they are going to turn towns that don't surrender into fucking MARIUPOL, while simultaneously cutting off any kind of supply they can from the Ukrainian forces that are stuck on the other side of this river. Okay? You're overusing eviscerated? No. There's no other way to describe what Russia did in MARIUPOL other than eviscerated. Anyway, so that's what's currently happening. Okay? Not to play military strategy here, but controlling the river would be sick. I'm a Giga Chad top tier ultra hard Hearts of Iron 4 player with 10,000 confirmed occupations. With bringing parts of Ukraine under Russian control and its military, Ukraine joining NATO would be definitely off the table. No, that's already off the table. Ukraine even fucking realizes that it's off the table. Zelensky has already said that they would concede to giving a firm commitment to never joining NATO. So it was never on the table. They just want, like, literally a fucking written on the record assurance that it's not going to happen from Ukraine. It's about bullying them into submission. It was never on the table anyway. It was not going to happen. It was never going to happen. France and Germany were not going to allow that to happen regardless. The reason why it's fucking disgusting and the reason why I got so fucking mad over and over again about NATO shit was because America and the UK made it seem like that was a possibility. At all. How many times have I talked about this? Like in 2008, George W. Bush on the way out literally fucking started a motion of events that would completely, that would basically unfold in what is happening in front of our eyes. Like the written assurances that Russia was never going to invade Ukraine. Yeah, when you're the sovereign power, when you're the largest territorial power, it doesn't matter. You can force smaller countries to abide by your assurances, and you don't have to actually fucking go along with your commitments. Hello, are you new here? Look at the Iran denuclearization agreement. Russia wants that. And it's not even bad. It's a gimme. Russia's demands are, out of the 15 bullet points, their main demands are demilitarization, whatever the fuck it is. They've conceded on the denazification front, according to earlier reports on that negotiations process, because it was never a real thing anyway. Firm commitment not to join NATO. The Ukrainian side of that is of course, to try to create some other kind of security assurances, but the UK has completely said no to. If I could get a deal, no NATO, but no demilitarization. Yes, the EU continued militarization. Go back to pre-war lines, 15-year pause in Crimea. Finland joins NATO. Ukraine joins EU. Yeah, well, you can't get a deal, okay? Yeah, and now Cossack Gundi is a prisoner of war under Russian control because Mariupol has fallen. Yeah, I follow those guys too. Hope he's safe. I mean, he fought in Rojava before, and now he was fighting in Mariupol with the rest of the foreign, like a part of the Foreign Legion, and they literally fucking earlier, I think yesterday, surrendered.
"20 months. Pog."
Military experts say Russia plans to create an arc of occupation from Kharkiv in the north down to Mariupol in the south. This would create a land bridge with Crimea, which they annexed in 2014. The danger of Russian occupation becoming clearer every day in the towns.
18 meters BPLR.
No, he wasn't. He's an actual Ukrainian Marine. What? Cossack Gundi was? I thought he was, no, he's not fucking Ukrainian. What the fuck are you talking about? Cossack Gundi is like British or some shit. Yeah, he's English, dude. Shut the fuck up. Oh, let's hear what Obabe had to say about
Barack Obama's weighing in on the situation in Ukraine and President Vladimir Putin in an exclusive interview with Mr. Roker. Hey, Al.
Hey, guys. Well, of course, President Obama has not only been in the room with the Russian leader, but he was in office when Russia annexed Crimea from Ukraine in 2014. So I asked him for his take on Putin's actions in Ukraine. What you see happening now, is this the Vladimir Putin that you had to deal with?
Putin has always been ruthless. Against his own people as well as others. He has always been somebody who's wrapped up in this twisted, distorted sense of grievance and ethnic nationalism. That part of Putin, I think, has always been there. What we've seen with the invasion of Ukraine is him being reckless in a way that you might not have anticipated 8-10 years ago, but you know, the danger was always there.
Hindsight's 20/20, but you go back to Crimea. Do you ever think, could I have done something differently?
you know, the situations in each of these circumstances are different, but I think that what we're seeing consistently is a reminder of why it's so important for us to not take our own democracy for granted, why it's so important for us to stand for and ally ourselves with those who believe in freedom and independence, and I think that the current administration is doing what it needs to be doing.
And we're going to have more from...
This happened because you went on an apology tour, you pussy Obama! Remember when this man did an apology tour? Apologizing for American war crimes? This is awesome. Obama just said literally nothing. That's cool. All right, let's get to the fucking top news story of today. We're back to the normal shit, okay?